Live from beautiful downtown Bastrop, it's time for the Stage Select, starring Julian, Titus, and Justin Ham.
What could this possibly be? Seems a lot like a podcast. Wonder what specifically. Talking about video games. With your hosts, you're in good hands. Not more of the same. Now we'll jump right in. So expect the unexpected and more. Now we'll get grooving. Never know who's gonna walk through the door. There just might be some tragedy. It's just having fun with a special guest. Time for Stage Select.
And here are your hosts, Julian, Titus, and Justin Ham.
Welcome, one and all, to the Stage Select. I'm Julian Titus.
And I'm Justin Ham. Hi. That sounded like I was really eager to say something. I'm really not. I don't really have much. God, what have I been doing? Oh, thanks, Justin. You there has to have been something that you've been doing that's quirky and stupid. No, actually, not really. It's just been really boring, and that's about it. It's just...
I'm surprised you do a lot of quirky and stupid things.
Yeah. Oh, I talked about that. I talked about putting up a shelf. Did that. What else did I do? God, did I do anything that was quirky and stupid? Not really. Not this week. This week was just come home and look at the TV for a little bit and then go to bed. That was really all I did. Wasn't very exciting. Yeah.
It's pretty much my week, too. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I mean, hey, what are you going to do? What's to be done?
Yeah.
I moved.
Something's got to happen, man. We need something. I'm waiting for, Pragmata is supposed to come next Friday. That's kind of the big thing for me. As I wait
is that released next Friday, or is that
that's release?
Okay,
yeah, that's like regular release.
I see they moved it up or something, but I wasn't sure if.
Yeah, I think they had moved it up by like a week. It was like one of those things where it got delayed again, and they were like, "Oh, actually, we can release it like a week earlier," and that was kind of them trying to be like, "Hey, we know that we announced this way too early,
right?"
And, but now we can release it slightly earlier, which is good because
that is good.
It sounds like that game, is. I mean, the demo is fantastic, but also just from hearing people that have played more of it, it sounds like not only is that game shaping up to be something really special, but it's even running super, super well on the Switch too. So
that's good.
Seems like they've got it, kind of locked in for everything. So that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
They did a really fun on April Fool's Day because there's been a lot of people who are like, "Is this secretly a Mega Man game? Like, is it going to turn out that she's like Roll or something like that?" Which no, that's stupid. But on April Fool's, they did do like a fun hey, here's Hugh in a Mega Man outfit.
That'd be a fun thing to unlock for a second playthrough of it or something, like the old Resident Evil style costume unlocks to play through it again. That'd be kind of fun.
Based on how the demo was structured, I feel that is going to be the case. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff to unlock and a lot of replayability to it. Because it does seem because even in the demo, it was Diane was sketching a drawing at the beginning, and the drawing is different based on, I think, your score, your overall score and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I only played it the one time because I was like, okay, I don't want to burn myself out on this. I can already tell that this is something that I really want to play.
Right.
So,
yeah.
We'll get into it a little later. I kind of messed around with a bunch of different stuff this week because I am waiting. I'm kind of in a holding pattern for Pragmata, but also because I'm waiting for, I want Crimson Desert to get another major patch or two out before I go back to it.
Interesting. Yeah.
But I think mainly it's that I really want to play Pragmata, and I know that I'm going to drop whatever I'm playing when that comes out anyway. So I was I don't know how, for me personally, I don't know the value of continuing forward on Crimson Desert right now
Yeah.
Especially because I know that I'm going to put it down for at least a couple weeks, and then I'm going to have to relearn the game anyway.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So that was kind of my thinking this week.
Yeah, Crimson Desert is interesting. If it's okay, I can just piggyback from there because I did play some Crimson Desert.
That's what I figured, which is kind of the reason why I brought it up that way.
Good, perfect.
Perfect. I've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I know. I had a feeling that you had a feeling that something had happened. So yeah, I played Crimson Desert for a couple hours today, like 2 or 3 hours today. And
is that all?
Yes, that's all I got to. It's been it's funny because like, well, I'll say that it wasn't like nothing real fun happened, but it was like a busy week. Just for dumb shit, like getting people settled shit. But we're just about there. So now today I got off of work early. I was like, you know what? It's time to fire this fucking thing up. Let's actually play this. And so I played it. In my time with it, I have no idea how the fuck I feel about that game.
That is the Crimson Desert experience.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what I think of this. It is. I stand like everything you said and me saying the words. This sounds like modded Skyrim. It really even feels like modded Skyrim, like where like all the controls are really kind of fucking weird. But we make them kind of work, and like it's
very much like once you play it for a little bit, you get used to it. To the point that then when I went to go play something else, I was actually pressing the wrong actions.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet it's one of those kind of games where it really fucks you up. But
almost like going to play like a Nintendo Switch game for like 20 hours and then hopping back onto an Xbox or PlayStation.
Right. Yeah. No, to me it's interesting because modded Skyrim, when you play it, you're constantly like. There's a big thing, especially if you're playing on controller, trying to get everything to work right on a controller. That is a struggle. And a lot of the times what it boils down to is you will get a custom controller setup and you'll kind of tweak it how you want it to be. And then you'll remember that stuff because you fucking did that. That was on you. At least in my experience. And slowly you're adding things. So like you'll add a dodge or something like that. And you'll add this and you'll add this. And you remember it's there and where it's at because like you added that and then you added this other new thing. And so it kind of helps. Whereas this, it's kind of just already set that way. And I'm sitting there like, I don't understand how to do anything. Like talking to people was weird. I was just like, how the fuck do I talk to this man?
Especially because there's 2 ways to do it.
Yeah.
That's I think one of the most bizarre things is there's usually 2 ways to do things. And it's not that like, oh, I can choose to do one of these 2 things. It's like, no, you either have to do this or this, depending on the situation.
On the context. Yeah. It's like, oh, if this is an important person to talk to, you need to hold L1 and then hold square. But if it's just some random passerby, you can just hold square. And I was like, okay. Because at first it was like, okay, walk up to the first thing it tells you to do, walk up to this man and talk to him. Like, okay. And I'm like, okay, I can't get near it. Like, he has a circle around him. Like, so you're expecting the prompt as soon as you get close enough. But he also has this weird force field around him the entire time to where I can't get close enough to him. So I'm like, what is it? Do I need to like restart this or something? This is weird. Yeah. And then eventually it's just like, no, you just do it eventually and it works. And I'm like, this is a weird fucking game. Also,
especially once you start to wrap your head around the idea that holding L1 is almost like your mouse cursor.
Yeah.
To like, because that's how you like pick up small things on the ground.
The immediate thing I noticed was going into settings and being like, these are PC settings.
it feels like this was designed for
immediately
a mouse and
this is-
keyboard setup.
These are fucking PC settings. This is not, it's not even subtle. The other thing that cracked me up was you boot it up and it says hold the button to start a new game, and I was like, all right, cool. So I hold the button to start a new game, and then the end user license agreement comes up, and I was like, wait a second, shouldn't that have already come up before we even got here? That's usually how this works. This is a weird way to do this. All right, whatever. That was just a little thing that kind of made me laugh. I was like, why is that now? Like, that's so strange.
Because Crimson Desert wants you to ask fundamental questions about the way games are presented to you.
Apparently they do, and I was constantly asking myself, why did they do it like this? It's just that kind of game.
This is going to be like a deep cut reference for like really old heads, but it feels like a game that sprung from the mind of Patrick, where it's like, no, but like, what if we just did it this way instead? Like, why are we just resting on our laurels of this or this?
Yeah.
Like, what if we just really like to take like a writing thing? Like, what if we just didn't use any punctuation or capitalization at all? Like, why are we beholden to these established rules?
all the dialogue so far that I've experienced is very odd. I don't know how else to describe it. Like,
But there's a charm to it for me.
It's not bad. I didn't say it was bad.
And I think a lot of it I think it does boil down to the way that I perceive the game, which is that unlike a lot of our like role playing games, I'm not role playing as the character Cliff.
Sure.
I'm role playing as another game player who's logging into a game called Crimson Desert.
Even weirdly,
playing their
I
character
could actually weirdly see that being the fucking thing with it too. That's just
like if it turns out there's some sort of weird like meta thing going on like later on, it's like I'm not going to be surprised.
I wouldn't be either. Yeah.
But because of that, it's like the NPC dialogue kind of feeling Skyrim or slightly older than that era, like kind of works
to
for
me. Yeah,
in,
to me
in
it feels
way.
slightly older than that.
Yeah, but at the same time, it also will occasionally do like some really cool things. Like, but it is old school. It'll be a thing where it's like you go talk to like a random person and they'll give you like a little bit of world. Like it's like, oh, that points me in this direction because they're talking about this thing, which is, you know, how old RPGs used to be, where there'd be like that NPC that would be like, oh, I heard that there was like something weird going on at this town.
Yeah.
Right. And that's all that they have for you. But it's like, oh, I should go check that town out. And there's also, when it happened, I really loved it, but it's also super clunky. Sometimes there'll just be an NPC that walks up to you and they just like hand you a piece of paper.
Oh, good.
And the piece of paper will be a tutorial.
You need this. You definitely need
it's like,
this.
hey, in case you didn't know,
yeah,
you can do this. It's
oh.
like, hey, thanks, villager.
Thanks. That's great. I'm glad you told me. Like, imagine somebody doing that in your real life. Like, we should start walking around and just handing out like, here's how to boil an egg. And oh, thanks. I needed this actually. But yeah, it's weird. Like I said, I haven't gotten like too far into it. I did get the fancy clothes to get into the thing because the tailor's house was on fire, and then I went up to the chimney and cleaned the chimney. Which
how many attempts did it take you to equip the broom? It took me a fair bit.
I was paying enough attention to so that it wasn't too bad. Because it was like, no, you just do this and then you press this button and then you'll have it, and then you go up there and you can aim it and clean like this. And I was like, my biggest thing was like, okay, but where am I supposed to clean at? Like, what do you? And then finally I figured, I have to actually climb on top of this and then aim down and then clean the chimney for the man. But yeah, that was funny because the dialogue was like really oddly overlapping. Like it
does that a lot.
Yeah,
and I don't think that that's an error. I do think that it's them trying to replicate. Like,
it sounded awkward, but it felt intentional.
Yeah. Like they want people to be talking over each other because they're so excited
Right.
that they're just talking over each other. Because you'll definitely see it, like, especially once you start to get your camp together and Greymanes start like coming to the camp.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, and they're all like kind of exclaiming at the same time that so-and-so is here.
Yeah. That sounds right. Yeah, it's a weird game. I still like another like instant modded Skyrim flashback was the precision jumping. That just instantly I was like, this feels like something somebody added with a mod from Skyrim with the little cursor and this thing. It's like, oh, do you ever just miss jumps in Skyrim? Now you don't have to do that. Like I can see this being a mod.
And that reminded me again, like I do think a lot of it's funny that we played that Downwell game or Downward game for Suffer Select recently, because that felt to me like we have to kind of paper over the fact that this jump is not great.
It's not very good. Yeah.
So this is but the funny thing is that once I've gotten out into the world proper, I've hardly used the precision jump because like the jumping has been just fine.
They probably designed most of the stuff around, like, especially when you're out in the world, like there's not going to be very many little, here's this tiny rock you got to jump onto.
Right.
So, that doesn't seem like it's too big of a problem.
Yeah.
It seems like it's going to be awkward.
Like, I bet like the sky stuff is going to be where that plays in, but I haven't been there much so far. And that's kind of the weird thing too about this game. And I do think that this is a problem, right? Like, don't get it twisted. Like, this game has a lot of weird issues, and I can't defend all of them, right? Like, there is a lot of stuff where I'm like, okay, this is weird, but I can kind of get where they're coming from here. But I think one of the cardinal rules in modern game design, piggybacking off of decades of learned design, is that when you introduce a new element or mechanic to the game, you then test the player immediately like 2 or 3 times on that to make sure that they've got it right. Where here it's like, hey, this is how you do this thing, and then like you don't
we won't
use
tell
it
you
for
ever,
a while,
and then you remember how to do it. No, I don't.
And then you encounter where you need to do it, and it's like, you remember, right? And it's like, no,
I don't.
No, I don't.
No, it's probably one of those things that probably needs like constant, like the little tutorial prompt in the corner, like, this is how you do this for this part, just in case you don't remember, because like it has a lot of shit in it. I can already tell.
Especially when it's not incredibly clear how you can interact with something, right? So there, like, one of the first puzzles that I encountered, I was like, and it was like a story mission, I believe, and I was like, what am I supposed to do here? And I looked it up, and it's like, oh, I can use that palm strike to like press these like cylinders into the wall, but like it didn't, like, they looked interactable, but I was expecting to need to like go on and press them or something, or like interact with them with a
prompt is going to come up, and then you press the thing and he does a little animation, and that's how you would expect to do it. But they didn't do that. The game is fascinating. It really is fascinating from just the standpoint. The modded Skyrim aside, the game it reminded me the most of was Dragon's Dogma 2. Just instantly. Like, just walking around and doing stuff, I was like, this has a real Dragon's Dogma 2 feel to it. And I really didn't get into that one, so I'm kind of worried about this one instantly. Like, I feel like I'm just going to be wandering and be like, I don't really know what to do. And I don't know if, like, I already don't know if I like the combat very much. There's something kind of awkward feeling about it. But then again, I haven't done it enough, so I'm not going to really judge it yet.
Yeah, I will say that part of it is that you're going to want to like hit the buttons as fast as possible, and that's not really how the combat works. Right. And also it gets like more fun the more shit that you unlock. So like I immediately start unlocking like the grapple moves, and that made it a lot of fun. And then it's got this really cool, I had forgot to mention this, it's got this really cool system where there's certain moves that you can either unlock with an artifact, or you can just witness it in the world. And so I forgot to say that, like, when I had that really cool session where I was walking through the streets of that first town and this dude challenged me to a fight, he did this kick that I then learned. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to kick a motherfucker. And then I kicked a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun, especially when you do it like that. I found someone who did a drop kick in my vicinity, and I learned the drop kick, and I was at a cliff. And so the next immediate thing that I did was drop kick a motherfucker off the side of the cliff. And I was like, that's so fun.
That's like, yeah.
There's a lot of neat things like that. And I do like how chaotic it can get, because you will get into Muso situations where you're just surrounded by a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
But you can handle it. And I dig that.
Yeah.
I will say, to the Dragon's Dogma thing, it's not as punishing as Dragon's Dogma.
That I believe. Yeah. That I can buy. Yeah.
And there is more direction. Everything, like I said, is a little bit too clunky. I did finally learn how to like start tracking quests. It is a thing where you can only track one quest at a time, which I find annoying, but you can do that, and that'll help as far as like kind of put like, my thing is I'll track a quest, but then on the way there, it's like, okay, but I'm open to anything. Like, while I'm doing that. Right. So I'll allow myself to just kind of get distracted by whatever, which is the way that I played Yote.
Right. Yeah. That's probably a good way to do it. Yeah. The biggest, I think, hurdle I'm having with it is, I think this is weird. The movement speed is an interesting choice, because you always walk, which is weird for a video game. I personally would always prefer like your character to be at a jog, and then if you want to walk, all you have to do is not go full force on the stick.
Agreed.
But I mean, I guess the reason they did that is, well, all these people you can bump into them. You don't want to bump into them, so you got to be moving slow. So you want to be choosing when you run. And I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it's just really awkward. Like when it introduced the run, because I remember like the game started. I was like, how do I run again? I can't remember. And then I kind of remembered, oh, right, it's like Grand Theft Auto. You have to press the X button. I'm playing it on the PlayStation, and then and you can tap it to run faster. Right. Okay.
Is that still there? Because I thought that was one of the things that they changed in the patch.
I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Okay.
It might just be you hold X. That's mostly what I've been doing, is just holding X. It's still awkward. I don't know what it is about it, because there's something about like, okay, you're gonna, because it even says you're gonna, sometimes you're gonna want to run and jump, and I'm like, okay, this feels weird then, because I'm now doing two buttons right next to each other, and I'm not sure if the momentum carries. I guess it does. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It's awkward. Like I want to be holding the button and then jump. You know what I mean? Like, and then press another button to jump. That feels correct. But in this case, it's kind of awkward. And like, every time I've started running, like the stamina runs out. I'm like, am I supposed to be running everywhere? Because I'm going so slow through this whole thing. Like it's
so. I want to say that the way it is now is that you can press the X button once to toggle into your jog, which won't use stamina. But then I think now it's press and hold to do the sprint that uses stamina.
Okay.
So you can go like probably the speed that you would expect a video game character to go.
Yeah.
And usually that cadence is not so bad that you're gonna like lose control and barrel through a bunch of people. And me being the person that I am, like, and with Cliff being such a like big dude, and I have him in some pretty big armor, I'm just like, this is just kind of how I feel that he should feel. And also I'm kind of into just kind of walking around the town, and then I run around when I'm out of the town.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah, no, I get it. I totally get it. The other thing that kind of cracked me up that I could not wrap my head around was the following somebody, because it's like it said something like you can hold X to follow this guy, and then I was doing it, and then it kind of just like didn't do it, and then it feels like sometimes it does do it, and then sometimes it doesn't. And I think it has to do a lot with like you're doing it, but the NPC is going faster than you, and so he's speeding up and then slowing down so that you can catch up, and then you're speeding up and then slowing down because you've caught up to him, and then it just keeps going back and forth. And I was like, this is really not what I would like. This is not Red Dead level of following where it's just like, oh no, yeah, you just hold the button and it's fine. Or like just click a thing and it auto does it for you. No big deal. Like it makes the walk and talk really weird. Like at least this
to
one
be
particular
fair,
one.
I do run into that issue in a lot of other games where it's like, oh, this NPC is like going at like this weird like in between cadence. Yeah. So sometimes they're a little too fast and sometimes they're too slow.
Oh and yeah, it's always really, a problem. Yeah.
100%. But it's extra clunky.
It's like it feels jerky in this place where like, yeah, there is a lot of times where they're going that in between pace and you're kind of like falling behind slowly. But it's not. But again, that's one of those. A lot of the times in the games like that, you also are controlling the speed with the stick. You know what I mean? So it's kind of it's kind of like, okay, well, it's not as big a deal because all I do is just move the stick forward a little bit more. Where here it's like, okay, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm pressing the X button and he's doing weird shit sometimes.
Yote felt weird like that to me because it took me a bit to realize that they will go the speed that you dictate.
Yeah.
So like they'll go as slow or as fast as
you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But they start off walking, so I would start walking.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, why is this taking so long? Because like we ran out of dialogue. It's like, oh, I can just run, and they'll just run.
That's
and they'll stay just a little bit ahead of me.
A lot of the dialogue in that game felt paced to like, we need to pace this conversation because most people are going to be jogging or running through it.
Right.
So let's do it that way. Yeah, where here is just like it's paced, I guess. I don't really know. It's weird. What a weird game.
What a weird game.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a weird game. I definitely want to play more of it tomorrow at some point. Yeah. Where you talk about like the longer session is good. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I played enough of this for now. I'm going to go back to this in a little bit and see maybe if I find something different to do.
Yeah. And that might be telling.
Yeah.
It's definitely like, because I think I had almost the same first session as you, which is about 2 hours.
Yes.
And I was like, huh, that's something.
Kim at the end,
it was like another. I think my second session was like an hour or maybe two, and then finally I had like a good like 4-hour session, and I was like, oh man,
yeah,
I think I'm in love with this game,
right?
But it took like a nice dedicated session.
Yeah. Kim at the end of it asked me she was like, oh, do you like this one? And I'm like, I don't know. I really don't know. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry that you don't like it. I'm like, no, it's not that. I really don't know. I genuinely, honestly, like, it could go either way right now. Like, in most games, I know pretty quick, like, if I'm going to get into this one, I'm like, it really could go either way. There's some real weird stuff in it. Like, so, I remember when your first session, you talked about the arm wrestling mini game or whatever, and I did that one and I passed it first try, but they
did make it a little bit more visible than when I first played.
I don't know how I passed it. That's the thing. I don't know what I did. They were just like, mash the button and then press this, and I was like, okay, what am I? And then it would like flash red, and I was like, is that good? I don't know. I'm just getting rid of it, and then I'm just mashing the button again. Is this just a distraction to stop me? I don't know.
No, so when you mash it to like kind of move like the overall wind gauge over to your side, but then it stops that, and it's like a press X, but there is it's a radial thing with an arrow that's going around like the judge. This is a weird pull. It's like the judgment ring from from Shadow Hearts.
Sure.
And there's a wedge of where you have to press it.
Okay.
And it's easier to see now, but it's still not enough contrast where the color of the field, the color of the arrow, and the color of the wedge are all way too similarly colored.
Yeah.
but please know that it's much easier to see now than it was when I
believe
first
you,
did.
and I still couldn't make out what the fuck it wanted from me. So I think I missed that every time and just mashed my way through it because I was.
You can still mash your way through it,
Yeah.
but if you keep failing on it, like it does set you back a lot. Like
Oh, I'm sure.
I've got very fast thumbs, and I was actually like running out of thumb stamina,
Oh,
which
yeah.
rarely
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
for me for a
Yeah,
tapping thing.
you and I both passed the original PlayStation interrogation for Metal Gear Solid. So
Right.
yeah, that like I know
First try.
I didn't pass mine first try. That took a while. I was a young man, a young boy, really, looking back at it, and oh my god, I think I watched somebody do it recently. I was like, that is not how that was. They dumbed that down. Like that used to be insane. Like
Yeah.
it was fucking wild. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't think I've ever told the story here. I know I've told you on Nerds Without Pants, but
Mhm.
it comes from playing games with my cousin David back when we were kids, like, and especially Blades of Steel for the original Nintendo.
Mhm.
Just like tapping those buttons really fast, and then when we started playing fighting games, like we would tap the buttons really fast also, which, you know, now that's actually a bad thing to do, right? You want to be more precise. You know, like the pros are like, don't tap the buttons fast, like press them once, like for everything that you want to do. But because of that, I've got like this, like there's this muscle on my right hand, like around my thumb that is like, and I've compared it to other people. It is not a normal muscle.
I believe
like,
it.
Other people don't have this like weird protrusion that me and my cousin David do.
I believe
And
it.
it's from us, like just like tapping the shit out of buttons, like on the Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I believe it.
And yeah, so I just have like crazy like tapping ability on that thumb.
Mine I learned is more in the forearm because I just hold the controller down and then somehow make
you
my
just finger tap?
my fingers shake, basically.
Right.
And that's how I learned how to do that.
Yeah. I use that sometimes as well, like the really tough taps, like that's what I'll do.
Yeah,
controller on the lap, like brrr.
yeah, that's the Metal Gear interrogation. We've done this about 30 times today, and I'm running out of steam. Fucking kind of thing. Yeah, that was a journey in my life. I remember.
Yeah,
but yeah, Crimson Desert. It's a weird fucking game.
Yeah,
I
really wish. I know. I'm sure you feel the same way, but like I wish that you could alter Cliff's appearance.
He's just a kind of a generic protagonist for the most part.
He is.
Like I don't know much of, maybe he's got more to him and I don't know because I'm only a couple hours in. But like it feels like a game. It still blows my mind, man. That is a company that made one of the best fucking character editors I've ever seen, and then they just went, "Nah, we're just not going to do that for this one." And I'm like, "But this guy is really lame as it is. Like he feels like he could be anybody.
Right.
Why do it this way?" And I know like, spoilers, there's like multiple characters you can switch between or something in this game at some point, and that's kind of fascinating, but like I don't really care that much about that.
I unlocked the first one and I switched over to her, and it was even clunkier than you think it works.
Yeah.
Because it does the GTA 5 thing where it's like she's in a different part of the world.
Yeah.
So you go to her, but then when you want to switch back over, you have to wait for Cliff to get to her.
What?
It's weird, man.
Oh,
and then also,
that's not what I expected at all. Like, yeah.
Like I said, it's weird. It's clunkier than you even imagine it to be.
Yeah.
And then also because she kind of has like her own shit going on, stuff that you do with her isn't necessarily helping you as Cliff. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stick with Cliff.
Then why? Yeah, this man.
So
weird.
Jeff Grubb said something on the Bombcast that made a lot of sense, which is apparently this did start as, if not a full-on MMO, some sort of multiplayer thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's probably why some of the decisions were made the way that they were, and it's probably why some of the side content is the way it is, because they're like, Yeah, it's like it's an MMO, so this is the type of stuff that you would do
Right.
in an MMO, right?
Right.
And then you turn that into a single player thing, and it's still like, like, okay, yeah, like I do like building a base, and I do like, going hunting or whatever, or
Right.
this or that. But like I said, like all of it is just a little too clunky. It's like,
Yeah.
I do kind of wish that I could just like go to a resource, like a mining resource, and just be like, hey, let me hit this button to mine this resource.
Yeah.
I don't need to pull out my pickaxe and then line up my strike and then strike it and then pick up the bits of ore off of the ground because they have physics to them and they roll around down this mountain.
That's good. That's real. You know.
Yeah, it
that's
is.
the struggle.
Yeah, and I think that's the intention.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I appreciate a game for just being very gamey about things.
Yeah. No, I do too. That's why I play video games, because I can do shit that I would never do in real life with a push of a button. That's what makes it fun. Well, it's weird. Yeah, man. I mean, I played Black Desert, their MMO. A lot of their side content was like this, in that where it was just like, oh yeah, that's just go do this one. But most of it was fighting based. But like, you talk to a guy, they send you here, you go, you fight some stuff, you come back to the guy. That's the thing. Very simple, very to the point. Nothing blow your mind at all. That was just Black Desert. There was the whole thing with it. But yeah, so I'm not surprised, because that's what they know, you know?
Right. Exactly. And, I do think it's very much a game that's more than the sum of its parts.
Sure.
Because if I evaluate each individual thing in Crimson Desert, I'm like, that's like mediocre. This is mediocre. Like, and it's like, yeah, kind of, there's really nothing that I can point to that's like, that's great. Right. It's like, the best I can be is like, yeah, that's pretty good. But then, But then when I come out of like a session, I'm like, man, that was a lot of fun. Like, I want to go back and play more of that.
Yeah. I mean, all they had to do was make Black Desert and take some of the MMO stuff out, because like, I mean, that was its big problem, is eventually like Black Desert was a weird MMO, I guess. I never really played with anybody, right, in that game.
Right.
Like, it was almost like a single player game for me. And like, which is
unfortunately how most MMOs are these days.
Yeah, but the weird thing is like, you would get to a point where it's like, okay, you're gonna have to like level up before you come here, but also you can kind of just do it. You're just gonna be hitting these motherfuckers for like ever to kill them, and so it's just like, okay, well, then it's just a timing thing. And the levels don't go up really that fast, and it's kind of, and like, it just kind of peters out, at least in my opinion. Like, I would get to that point with one character and I'd be like, okay, well, I think I'm done with this. And yeah, that's just how that went. So as long as you fix that, I mean, it could be fun. I don't know. Weird game. Weird game. I do want to play more of it and see if it sticks or not. I'm right now, I do not know.
And I really do want to see, like, I think it's going to be like a thing for you, like it was for me. It's like, once you have that time to like really just like kind of immerse yourself in it, that'll kind of be like, okay, where does this shake out? Is this a thing that I want to continue kind of poking at, or have I had my fill?
It's really, it could go either way. I don't know. There's either, I'm gonna either come away from a session and go, that was really fun, or I'm gonna come away from one and go, I'd literally rather do anything else than that. And I don't know how. Like, I remember that being how Dragon's Dogma felt to me, where I got done with it the first time. I was like, that was really interesting. I don't know how I feel about it yet. And then I played it like a second and third time, and I was like, this is not for me. I am not getting into this. I don't care for anything that's going on. I feel confused at all times. And I don't know why I feel that way. I don't like that feeling. So
the best tips that I can give that I've learned for like early stuff is, since food is your only way of healing, just kind of every time that you're around like someone that's selling ingredients, buy kind of what they have.
Sure.
And then anytime that you're at a cook pot, just cook whatever you can cook. It's not a thing where you have to like continuously like return to town and stuff like that, but it is a thing where it's like you want to have like a good number of prepared shit on hand. Is
there a merchant screen that comes up with this is this man's inventory, or is it just no, it's on display and you buy them?
No. It's twofold.
Okay.
You talk to the actual merchant and they bring up like their inventory that you can purchase from. But then they have additional inventory like out in their shop that you can also purchase.
Apparently, I just have not found any merchants, or I just didn't know that I was supposed to hold L1 and then talk to them because
and that's the thing, right? Is that I think the merchants are the hold L1 before you talk to them instead of just hold down the button to talk to them.
It's so weird. That's such a weird choice.
It is. And I think because the merchants have more options
than
just talk. So that's the thing, is because you can talk to them, you can give them a gift, which, ups your reputation with them, or you can like buy from them, which is that opens the shop, screen.
Yeah.
The other big thing is that because you don't really level up, a big part of your getting stronger and taking less damage is upgrading your gear. So there is like there's a blacksmith, and there's also like the blacksmith. There's like two guys in front of each other. There's a weapons dealer that's just like he's a big giant.
That's
like
just I know
by
what
himself.
You're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and then right behind him in the building is the blacksmith. So the blacksmith, you talk to him, he can like upgrade like your gear.
Yeah.
If you have the resources for it. And then there's also right outside of his shop is a little grindstone that you can also reinforce your gear, which gives it like, it gives all of your gear a buff.
It said something about me discovering a grindstone, and I was like, okay, I believe you.
Yeah.
I encountered
all of
the
that
blacksmith.
stuff helps because I had seen like a lot of takes of like, man, I'm just getting my ass kicked, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not having any trouble. But I was also like, actually like, well, I've got food on me and I've upgraded my gear. It's like I'm actually engaging with what's going on in this game, and I'm not having
a lot
problems.
of people don't do stuff like that. They just kind of go and do whatever, and
and they are expecting the game to just tell them like, hey, you got to go do this right now, which to be fair, like that's become the norm for a reason, right? It's funny. This is like a weird comparison, but I was playing Lust Epidemic today.
Nice.
And I'm almost done with it.
Perfect.
And it's interesting because that game definitely feels like a first attempt at making a video game, because there's a lot of stuff where it's like, especially towards the end, it's like, guys, why are you making me like trek back and forth between this forest and this school so many times? Because it's like, hey, go find this one thing. It's in the forest, and then go all the way back to talk to this NPC in the school. There's a lot of shit like that. There's it's
a lot
also
of shit
a
like
thing
that in both
where
of their games, or all their games. Really, I'm not gonna lie to you. They're weird.
Well, from what I played of Treasure of Nadia, it seemed like a little bit better about this type of stuff.
Okay, all right, that says something.
Because this is what I was about to say, is that a lot of times you'll complete something and then it's just like, now what, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes if you're walking around the school, you will see somebody, it's like, oh, they're moving over here, so you go follow them, and then that triggers the next thing. But it's the main character almost never says, I should probably go do this.
Right.
Which is how most games are different now, is that there's something that leading you to the next thing after you complete
or
the
like
previous.
And even if you missed it, there's like a journal that you can look at or something, like, oh, hey, maybe I should go over here,
Right. And the band-aid that Lust Epidemic has is there's a crystal ball that you can ask for hints, which at first is like, it's mainly like, hey, if you got stumped, like here's a hint. But towards the end of the game, it's like, I'm using it literally after I complete
Treasure
everything.
of Nadia and a Genesis Order had something similar to that. And
they do, but what I've played of Treasure of Nadia, like the character was at least like, I should probably go like
they do
see what so and so's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
where they never do that in this game.
There's definitely a few spots I remember in Genesis Order where I was like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do right now. And then it would kind of be like, hey, have you tried doing this? And I was like, oh yeah, I haven't tried doing that. Let's do that. But that one was, I think, still half-ass in early access when I played through it.
That makes sense.
I don't really, they didn't say early access, but I think it kind of there was definitely a few spots where it was like, this part isn't done yet. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll come back another time, I guess.
Yeah, and I do feel that like that's the thing about expectation, right? Is because there's a reason why games have yellow paint and stuff like that, and it is like a big part of it right now is because games across the board look so good that it's hard to know when you can interact with something versus this is just pretty set dressing, right? Where you used to be able to be more explicit about that, but it's like also it's like going back to the beginning of 3D games. Like I always go back to Resident Evil 1. It's like, yo, items were motherfucking like sparkling in the environment, so that you knew that you could look at that because otherwise you might miss it.
Yeah, or they were randomly made out of polygons where the rest of it was not.
Exactly.
So it stood out a lot more.
Right.
But
so now it's. There's reasons for
people
it.
can bitch about yellow paint and all that stuff all they want. I'm a big fan of it. Just tell me what I can interact with and I'm into it. That's how I figure it out a lot of the time.
Yeah. And especially here you have a situation where it's like, well, you can kind of technically interact with everything. I do appreciate that it is like it's like one of the only games to take a page from Breath of the Wild where it's like, no, you can just like climb up this cliff. Like if you've got the stamina for it, you can just do that. Like you don't have to have like, you don't have to go to where there's like some special moss or something like that, or and it's not like an automatic handhold thing. It's
the other weird comparison I kept making was those, and part of it was because of like the kind of the opening to it. I was like, this kind of almost feels like an Assassin's Creed type thing. A little bit, because Assassin's Creed has sort of the same little bit where it's like, you can just climb up shit, it's fine. But no, it's definitely an interesting game for sure. I will always give it that, whether I like it or not. I don't know yet, but yeah,
I think you'll at least come away from it respecting it, because that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. Is I respect the hell out of it.
That. Yeah, I can see that.
And I am leaning more towards love, but again, I've still only played it for about 13 hours, and I haven't necessarily had that pull. But again, part of that is because I am kind of waiting for like maybe one more like huge patch.
To be fair,
and also Pragmata like done and dusted.
Yeah, to be fair, I came away from what was it? Not Crimson Desert. That's the game we're talking about.
WWE.
No, I was just talking about it. Dragon's Dogma. I respected the hell out of that game. I just didn't like it. Like that, I was like, I respect everything this thing is doing. I just don't like it. So we'll see. I'm fascinating to see how it's going to shake out in the end. But yeah, Crimson Desert.
And I do think that the fact that it isn't like you're not as thrown to the wolves as Dragon's Dogma does.
No, you definitely are not.
That's a nice feather in its cap.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Dragon's Dogma is like actively like fucking with you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Speaking of actively fucking with you, I don't know. I'm honestly not really sure how this train of thought left the station.
Okay.
I know part of it was that I was like, I really do think that I should put Crimson Desert on the back burner because the updates are coming so fast and furious that I kind of want to wait for it to settle a little bit.
Sure.
Because it might be a thing where it's like, oh, I'm going to have like a much better time if I just wait a month. But that doesn't tell me why I did what I did. Well, I should say I finished Life is Strange Reunion, which I'm going to talk about later in the episode because I kind of do need to go spoilery on that shit.
Okay.
So I would rather do it kind of at the end of the game segment so people can just like skip to the next timestamp.
Yeah.
And it doesn't like make it weird or whatever. Yeah. But I was looking for something else to play, and I was kind of looking at like it's weird because like I have Romeo as a Dead Man, which I do want to continue with. But I ended up that's what it was. Because the thought went in my head. I was like, kind of want to go back to Elden Ring.
Okay.
And then I was like, but I don't, man, like I have the disk drive from my PS5 Pro, but it does this weird thing where if there's a disk in the drive, it's loud as shit when the system is firing up.
Yeah, I can believe it.
And I'm not always playing the game that's in the drive. So it's annoying to have a game in the drive as well as playing other digital stuff.
Sure. And
I was like, Elden Ring is one of those games that I kind of always want to have access to. Is it on sale right now?
Yeah.
And it was on sale for like $38, which is the lowest I've ever seen it for.
Yeah.
Because that game, you know, I feel that game should be much cheaper now, but it just, you know, they know what they've got. And, and so I was like, okay, I pulled the trigger on it. And because when I finished Shadow of the Erd Tree, there was like a specific weapon that had dropped there where I was like, I want to do a Wolverine build.
Oh, yeah.
And so then I looked up like, okay, but what's a Wolverine build from like a couple years ago? Because like I'm going to be starting a new game and I'm not going to have access to the Shadow of the Erd Tree stuff for so long.
Right, yeah.
Which is one of my issues with like kind of the overall package of Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erd Tree is like, you know, you've got to be almost ready to beat the game before you can go do that.
That's
stuff.
how they've done a lot of their DLC shit. Is like it's basically extra end game content type thing. But yeah,
and I
hear you.
Get that, but Elden Ring in particular is a game where it's like if you know where to go and you don't mind dying a few times to get there, you can just like go quickly around on torrent and get like specific things that you want for a build.
Yeah.
And I wish that you could just like run past Moog and just like hit the portal and then be like, I know I'm not supposed to be here, but I just need like X like these 3 things from here and I'll come back later.
Right. Yeah.
But that's not the case. But to be fair, like the clause that I want from Shadow of the Erd Tree, you have to fight this really tough NPC invader anyway. Yeah. So it would amount to the same thing.
Right.
But I found like a build and I was like, okay, that seems doable. And then, you know, I made a pretty good looking Logan.
Sure.
And, you know, I made him as a wretch. So he started off in a loincloth with a club.
Okay.
I probably should have started as a samurai because of his like kind of Japan dealings and stuff like that. But I decided that I'm going to have a secondary weapon as a katana for certain situations because, I mean, so far, once I got the claws have been really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because Elden Ring is starting to become and I think I might have said this when I was playing Erd Tree. I don't recall. So I apologize if I'm repeating some of this stuff. But I do feel that Elden Ring is becoming to me what Skyrim is to you, where I don't know if I'm necessarily going to go the distance with this Logan build.
Yep.
But I'm having a fuck ton of fun doing it. And it's fun. Like I've got over 300 hours in this game now. And it's interesting to have that amount of time in a game like this where it's like, it's so different from how I used to play the game. Because like I used to play that game kind of how Crimson Desert is, where it's like I'm walking everywhere. I hardly used torrent to the point that I would forget. Like there'd be like parts where it's like, how are you supposed to get across this like lake of like poison? And it's like, oh, torrent's immune to poison. Right. Or it's like, man, this enemy is like really fast on its feet out here in the overworld. Like, how am I supposed to fight? You're supposed to get on torrent and fight it on horseback. And it's like, I just wouldn't think about that. Right. And I would like methodically go through areas and, you know, like take it very slow and, you know, not engage with more than like 2 enemies at a time if I could avoid it and all this stuff. But I'm now, I have 2.5 tours through the lands between.
Sure,
Two
yeah.
complete ones, one of which also has Shout of the Erd Tree as part of that.
Yeah.
And then a halfway one because I had started a character with the intention of having them go through Shadow of the Erd Tree, and then I couldn't beat Moog.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck
Yeah.
it, I'm just going to take my previous character and go through this.
There you go.
So I basically played through it like 2.5 times. Now, I'm like, so at first, I'm Unga Bunga. I you start at level 1 as a wretch, and I've only got a club, and I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? And it's like, all right, I'm out in the world. Let me go to the church here. Let me get the crafting handbook and like the whetstone or the smithing stones here. Let me go to the point of grace where I can get the ability to level up, which I still think that is one of the dumbest
a wild
things.
Thing. Yeah.
That should be like the first grace that you go to.
Probably. I'm not. Yeah. Don't disagree at all. Yep.
But I did that, and then I'm like, okay, let me go grab like some easy like gold runes where I know where they are. Let me grab some smithing stones where I know where they are. And then I'm like, okay, let me go into this first like dungeon to get this and blah blah blah. And then I found it's like one of the first weapons. It actually is over where you meet Miriam for the first time, the girl that levels you up.
Yeah.
It's like kind of that little guard area where there's a bunch of like soldiers, and there's like a claymore that you get there. And I didn't have the stats to wield it except in two-handed mode. I'm like, I don't have a shield anyway, so fuck it. Like, let's just do this. So that was my weapon for like the early parts of the game, because you can't get the hook claws that I needed until you get to Stormvale Castle.
Okay.
And I forgot that you have to go through Margit before you can get into Stormvale Castle. I was like, okay, I'm not ready for that. So usually when I'm starting Elden Ring, I fart around in the beginning area, and then I make my way south. And kind of the first big thing I do is Fort Feroth?
Yeah, I know which one you're talking. The little island or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, where you fight the Leonine Misbegotten, and you get like that really cool great sword.
Yep.
And again, like kind of just having knowledge of how the game feels, like the moment-to-moment combat. And it's like, I'm not going into battles worried. I'm going in with the assumption that I'm going to fuck some shit up. And that feels really cool. I beat the Leonine Misbegotten on my first try. I'm also not doing summons this time. And then I went, Margit took me, I think, 3 tries.
That's not bad.
That wasn't bad, because that used to be like, the first playthrough, I almost quit. Like, because he is the filter boss, or the first filter boss.
Yeah.
And I guess he is the filter boss, and I almost quit on him. But then, I went. The nice thing about Elden Ring is that you can always just go fuck around somewhere else for a while, and then come back stronger. And that's kind of what I did. But here, I was relatively low level. I think I was like in the early to mid 20s, and beat Margit, and then got my claws, and I was like, okay, now I can start working on this Wolverine build. And so then I started like looking around for smithing stones to go upgrade the claws a bit. And then kind of just made my way through Stormvale Castle, and just started like annihilating shit. Now, I will say that Godric took me more tries than I expected him to, because the first attempt I got him to phase 2, no problem. And then because the range is obviously so short with, this build, it was a little bit harder to get inside, but that was also part of me just kind of learning the moveset and everything. And the build guide that I was looking at was like, okay, you're going to put some faith in here because you're going to do like these like faith spells and blah, blah, blah. And like, you should put this Ash of War on, which is like a shout where he like stomps the ground and he does this shout that's like a projectile. And I was like, I mean, I can see the point of that, but I'm going to put parry as my Ash of War, and I'm going to try to learn how to parry. And so I've been learning how to parry a motherfucker. Okay. And that's been fun. And then I got like, I think it's bestial regeneration. So it's like, I've got my healing factor, right? I just like pop that on before a fight. And I also have the one talisman that you get health back if you do a critical. Oh yeah. And because I'm parrying a decent amount of shit now, so it's like he's constantly getting health back. I'm like, man, this is working out like way better than I thought. And now I just infused the claws with cold, so it does bleed buildup and cold buildup. And that's the other thing, is that I'm understanding a lot more about the deeper mechanics that I kind of struggled with before. So I'm doing a lot of jumping attacks, which is doing a significant amount of poise damage. So I'm staggering enemies more often.
Right.
So I'm getting more criticals that way. But I'm also understanding when bleed and cold are actually activating, because I never really understood what was happening with that before.
Right.
And I still feel that, like, guys, just putting like a little indicator like under the enemy's like health bar that shows like, hey, look, the bleed thing is building up. So then you kind of have an understanding of like what's actually affecting a boss or not. Like if you have like a fire build and you notice that like fire, that's not a bad. I mean, if you have a bleed build and you notice it's not building up on this enemy, then you understand that it's not susceptible to bleed, right? Just having little things like that, I think, would be beneficial to their games going forward. But they don't do that. But I am understanding it more, and I am being significantly more aggressive with my play style. And so, like I said, where before I would be like, you know, trying to kind of pull enemies away from packs and stuff like that, I'm just going full berserker rage. I'm just jumping in and I'm just slashing away and just being like Johnny on the spot about dodging when I can or parrying what I can. And for the most part, it's working out pretty good.
That's fun.
I've taken out Margit, Godric, and Renala so far. I am currently working on like the underground stuff for Ronnie. And then I'll be moving on into the Altus Plateau pretty soon. I wanted to go get the Moonveil Katana just to like have it. But that actually, like, that boss has been a problem, and so I think I need to like go back there later, where I was kind of hoping that I could like take it out way earlier than I normally do. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I'm about 15 hours into it. I'm like level 55 or something like that. So, you know, I've learned how to move through that game much more quickly. And it is funny, though, having that much time in this game. Major bosses, not much of a thing. Random group of enemies, fucking terrifying. It's so weird, because it's like, you know, because of the way I'm playing, it's like sometimes they will group up on me and they'll just like stun lock me into oblivion. And it's like, oh man, that just sucks. And part of it is that sometimes it's like the run back. And to be clear, I understand that I'm spoiled with Elden Ring. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. Because it's like, I don't mind like trying this boss over and over again, but I like, what's the purpose of me having to like go do, like, really good example is in Raya Lucaria Academy. It's not a boss, it's just one of those like stronger NPCs right before Renala's chamber. It's a Carrion Knight that he's really good about guard criticaling you, where he'll like block an attack and then he'll do the guard reversal thing like you can do, and that'll kill you in one shot. And it's like, but then I have to run all the way over here and past the giant ball, like the giant, you know, the big ball that's coming down these steps and all this shit. It's like, just let me spawn in front of his room. Like, why do I have to? Because it's not exciting and it's not like challenging. It's like, once you know how to get past the ball, it's not a problem. It's just annoying.
It's annoying.
As I was playing it and I was getting like, you know, I'm pretty decent amount of way in, but I was like, you know, never finished Bloodborne. And I am playing this game way more aggressively than I have in previous versions of my characters. And I know the Bloodborne is a more aggression based like system. Let me pop Bloodborne in. So I popped Bloodborne in. Because I still have the disc. And started a new game. The PlayStation is so weird. It says that I've played Bloodborne for 57 hours. There's no way that's right. Because I looked up how long to beat, and it says that, like, you know, a completionist run is like 45 hours. And it's like, I was nowhere close. I want to say I was more in the 20 hour, like 25 hour range or so. Like, hold on. I think I have my, let me listeners who know Bloodborne can let me know, because I can look at my trophies. Maybe. Let's see.
Possibly.
Yes, there we go. Bloodborne. I'm going to go to the most recent one that I got.
All right.
That's like a boss.
Right. Yeah.
5, 4. The Witch of Hemwick is the last boss that I got a trophy for.
Oh, I have no idea.
So
yeah,
wherever
somebody
she
else will have
is,
to
that's
tell
where I
you.
got to.
Yeah.
But I was proud of myself. I beat the first enemy that you encounter, which is kind of supposed to kill you outright. It's like a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like barehanded. Beat him. But then like you clearly can't beat like the regular enemy. Like you're not supposed to get far without a weapon.
Right.
But I was still proud of myself that I did it. I was like, I wonder if I can do this. And yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But what the big thing is that I'm doing way better with the pistol. Like, because Bloodborne I wouldn't call it a parry. Like, I was watching a beginner's video, and it is more of an interrupt. Because it's a thing that you kind of have to do in anticipation of an attack rather than waiting for the attack to reach you at the last possible second and then deflect.
Right.
Like there's more, you're looking for the beginning of attack more than the end of an attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you are being more proactive on it. But there's like the first like bigger enemies are like these trolls and stuff like that. They're supposed to be like your first like, oh shit, like, you know, these guys are tanky and they do a lot of damage and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I just shot the fool and then staggered him and then killed him in one hit. Like the first time that I encountered him. And then like, that's pretty much continued. Like since then, it's like, yeah, this is cool. I'm kind of getting into this. And then also just having, because I've been through Elden Ring so many times, I'm like, there's going to be an enemy waiting for me right here. And then sure enough, there's an enemy there, but I've already got the drop on him. You know, that type of stuff where it's like, when I go pick up that item, there's going to be like 3 guys that like kind of like circle me. It's like, yep, there it is. But I'm already rolling out of the way of the first swing and then, you know, taking them out. So that type of stuff, like I'm starting to understand like how like the big From heads, like how they are able to just like grab a new game from that company and kind of already have a baseline mastery of them, because you start to learn the tricks, right? And it comes down to timing, but I'm also at the point where it's like, right, I understand how these rolls work, and I understand that I'm supposed to be rolling towards this swing instead of trying to get away from it. Right. Because if I roll towards it, I'm going to be invincible through the attack and then be set up to slash a couple times, you know, as they're recovering from their attack and stuff like that. I beat the Cleric Beast on my first try.
Nice.
Father Gascoigne took me more tries than I expected, because I don't have memory of Father Gascoigne, which leads me to think that I didn't have that much trouble with him back in 2015.
I remember,
that was the thing that I do remember from playing Bloodborne the first time around, is I was killing a lot of the bosses in my first or second tries.
Right.
And I was like, I remember being like, this is not what I was expecting. I thought I was going to have like a lot more trouble with this stuff. But it's also a thing where it's kind of, I'm running into some little issues. And I do think that Elden Ring may have spoiled me for all of the previous games. And I don't know how, I don't know if I'm going to finish Bloodborne. Let me be clear on that. Yeah. And I also don't know if I can necessarily go back and play the older games, because I have been so spoiled. And one of the big things is the boss run back.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So there are way fewer bonfires, for lack of a better term, in Bloodborne as opposed to the Sites of Grace in Elden Ring.
Right.
And so with Father Gascoigne in particular, it was like, all right, he like beat me really fast. Oh, God, I have to go shit. That's so far. Yeah. Why is it so far? Yeah. And then it'd be a situation where it's like randomly, it's like, oh, I just got killed by that group of enemies that hasn't been a problem the last 3 times. So I didn't even make it to him. Yeah, because
you start trying to like speed through it. Yeah.
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 And then the other thing is that the Father Gascoigne fight is very much hey, it's time to learn how to do the interrupt with the gun. But because, and I do think that this is I feel is a valid criticism of Bloodborne. The fact that like your pistol uses consumable ammo that you can run out of is a little bit of a problem. Like I wish it was a thing where there was better ammo that you could equip the pistol with, but you always had like some sort of stock ammo, because it's basically like, imagine playing like a Dark Souls game where your parries are a consumable, right? And so you can only parry X number of enemies between like here and there, and it's like there's enemies on the way to Father Gascoigne that I need to parry in order to kill them quickly so that I don't use resources, but I'm also using a resource to do that. And enemies drop way more blood vials than they do bullets. And so I'd run into situations where it's like, I guess I'm going to go farm some fucking bullets or farm some blood souls to go purchase some bullets. And that was annoying.
Right.
But I beat Father Gascoigne, and I don't know. Did you play Bloodborne at all, Justin?
No. I watched it played before, but never played it myself.
Okay, then you might remember this is a pretty infamous section where you run into an area and there's this guy like talking smack at you from far away. And then as you get closer, he just starts opening fire with a Gatling gun on you.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And, at first it's like he just annihilates you. And then you realize, okay, there's got to be a better way to go about this. And then sure enough, you find like the way to kind of, keep things between him and you.
Right.
And get closer to him. But my memory of that encounter is that when you get to the top of the tower that he's perched on, my memory is that I just snuck up on him and killed him with a critical blow in one hit. But no, he knows that you're coming, and he's like a hunter like you.
Yeah.
And I went to go, it was the kind of the woolly thing where it's like, I hit him and the life bar barely budged, and he hit me and almost killed me in one hit. And I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here yet.
Yeah.
And I think there is like other directions that I can go, but I do think that I'm kind of going through the game a little bit too quickly, because of coming off of like all that Elden Ring skill set and everything like that. And I'm probably supposed to be going through it slower and kind of leveling up a little bit more and stuff like that. But it was clear that I wasn't supposed to fight him yet. So I need to go figure out where to go next. But it is fun. And
there you go.
Playing that Wolverine build in particular kind of set me up just right for Bloodborne, because I am like, being far more aggressive with like my attacks, and also I have my head wrapped around the deflect mechanic pretty well. It's definitely not a 100% thing,
right?
But I am succeeding more often than I'm failing with it.
That's
cool. So that's neat.
That's good.
But come next Friday, it's all Pragmata.
Well, I mean, it's a good time to do that then, because it's like one of those. It's kind of a known quantity. That it's a good time for known quantities right now. If you're gonna put everything down, it is like in a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And I also think Pragmata is probably not going to be a super long game. I do think it's going to be your typical Capcom thing where it's like you can beat this in 10 hours, but then there's reasons for you to want to go play through it again. So I'm really looking forward to that one. That game's demo was so good, and I'm very excited to play that one.
The Stage Select is made possible through the support and funding of viewers like you. Here are our wonderful patrons.
Before I move on, Justin, because I do want to talk about Life is Strange Reunion, my final thoughts on it. I think we should go ahead and take the opportunity to thank our lovely patrons.
Okay, let's do that.
We appreciate all of our lovely patrons, but every week we like to thank the executive producer tier. And this week, we have Andrew Wilson.
I'm almost ashamed that you skipped over thank patrons, but you know what? That's fine. We have
our new patron, thank patrons.
Thank patrons. We have the Let's Play Princess of Nerds of Broadcast.
We have Bookie.
We have Blaine Fair.
We have friend of the show, John Gholson.
We have Bill Tucker of A Gamer Looks at 40.
We have David Portnov.
We have Dr. Delicious.
We have Stephen Lobo.
We have AddieXD.
We have Xavier Krieger.
We have 60X Self.
We have Xrian.
We have Game Johnson of Retrofits.
We have Casey Curran.
We have Big Baker.
We have Philip P.K. Becker.
We have Eric Peacock of the Soundtracker Podcast.
We have Raymond Chrome.
We have Dennis Robertson.
We got Matt Jorgensen.
You said that like
Thank you,
there would
everybody,
be
for
more
supporting
after
the show.
that, but we did not have many more after that.
No. We would like to have many more after that, but
We would.
currently that is what we have.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for supporting the show at
Thank
the
you.
executive producer tier. So yeah, Life is Strange reunion. I'm saying right now, I kind of need to talk about this in a spoilery way in order to kind of explain how I feel about it. So I'm going to give y'all a little bit to kind of get to your podcatcher of choice.
Yeah.
And
I'm
if
lighting a
you don't
cigarette.
want to hear this, you can go ahead and skip to the next, what do you call it? The thing with the timestamp.
Yep, you can do
Stamp of the
that.
time.
Stamp of
Let
the
you
time,
know.
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
That's what it's
To let
called
you
on the
know
street.
when we've, yeah.
Yeah, it's a street name.
But yeah, I did finish Life is Strange reunion last week.
All right.
And it was funny because I finished it like almost right away because I pretty much spent last weekend playing Elden Ring. So
Yeah, okay.
that was
You
kind of
must
fun.
not have
but-
had much left after the when you talked about it last time.
Yeah, and I kind of felt that way.
Mhm.
It's about a 10-hour game,
Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah,
which is about average.
that's about
for
right. Yeah,
that series.
for one of those.
It's interesting too because this one, more than a lot of the other games in the series, has like a lot more nuance to outcomes where I got like a lot of trophies for doing specific things, and then I was like, oh shit, if I had gone to explore this room earlier and found this item to give to this person, they would have made it out alive.
Sure.
And literally it's because I kind of did things in a reverse order that I didn't, because I thought that room was going to kind of propel things forward, and it was actually the other way around. So I was like, oh man, that's on me. Oh well. I've been trying to think about how to explain that I think that Reunion is a very good game that overall I think is better than Double Exposure in a vacuum. But taken as a whole is an extremely cowardly kind of desperate game that shouldn't exist and also makes the original game worse by simply being.
From what you described last time, it definitely sounded like it was kind of unnecessary would be the word that came to mind. So, yeah.
And I don't know, how the series has been going overall. Like it obviously has its fans, and they do well. They seem to do well enough that they're still making
them
greenlit.
Yeah.
But I do remember when Double Exposure came out, I was like, oh, they're having to pull the max lever because for whatever reason, people didn't love True Colors as much as I did.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I'm still like, yo, if you're going to give somebody else another game, give it to Alex Chen. She should be like, she deserves it.
Yeah.
But bringing Max back felt like kind of a little bit desperate, but I was like, it kind of makes sense, and it is kind of cool to see where she's at, even if I didn't particularly like the way that she was written in Double Exposure. I like her better in Reunion.
Okay.
So that is nice. But here it definitely feels like shit. The series is circling the drain. Here's the in emergency break Chloe glass.
Yeah,
and
right.
Bring Chloe Black back. Because that it really is the whole reason for this. And man, it really, like, once I got to the end of the game and I saw the stats, and also just like kind of the way the game was treating my decisions, I was like, this only exists for people that ship Max and Chloe.
Interesting.
And I never shipped Max and Chloe, because even in the first game, I was like, Chloe is clearly into Rachel, who is missing at the time.
Mm.
That's the girl that she likes.
Mm.
Max is, a longtime friend that has recently come back into her life after years of not being in her life. It's not the time for a romance to spawn or to spring forth out of that dynamic. But no, this game is like, even when you're choosing like the platonic stuff, it reminds me a lot of the Telltale Batman game, where it's like, that game could not fathom that I didn't want year one Batman to be in a romantic situation with Catwoman.
Sure, yeah.
Because my thinking was like, no, Batman is on the mission at the especially at the beginning. Like, there's nothing that's going to deter him from the mission. It takes time for that relationship with Catwoman to blossom over the years. And then eventually, that happens. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't. But here it's like, even when you do the platonic stuff, it's like, oh, but you're going to hold hands in like a very like relationship-y type of way. Not in a friendship-y type of way.
Sure, yeah.
And a lot of the dialogue is like, oh, right, they're friends, and it's like, no, we are friends. Like, that's the world that I've built around these decisions. Like, that's what's going on. Max is into this other girl. I don't know what you're trying to tell me, game. And then when I get to the end and it's like 87% of players, romanced Chloe or whatever, and it's like, that is why this game is here. And again, first game, the entire point is learning to let go,
right,
and understanding grief,
right,
and knowing that even if you have the ability to change things on the cosmic level, it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
And here it's like, no, but what if they just ran off together and like into the sunset, happy as clams? And like, but the town's fine too. You get the best of both worlds. It's the super mega happy ending from Wayne's World. And it's like, no, do you understand that? Yeah. That's not what, that's not the point that first game was supposed to be about.
Right.
When I got to the end, I was just like, man, what a bunch of fucking cowards. And then also they do some characters from Double Exposure super dirty. Good. Characters that I really liked, including Safi, who is the best friend in that game that Max saves from being murdered, which, I mean, I do have issues with that as well, but Safi is like a really cool character who does like some bad shit towards the end, but even if you stay loyal to her and stuff like that, she just kind of does a full-on heel turn for most of this game, and she's kind of and like, it's even in like intimated like, oh, we used to be friends, but we're not anymore. And it's like, that is not how that ended for me. Yeah. Like, I was I have continued to be super loyal to Safi, and she's such a cool character, and I really thought that they did her a major disservice in this game.
Sure, yeah.
And then one of the teachers in the first game, or not the first game, in Double Exposure, Gwen, she was like my favorite teacher. She's this like super activist trans English teacher or writing teacher.
Okay.
She's like a no nonsense lady. Like, she doesn't talk down to her students. She chain smokes around them. She, drops F-bombs around them. She treats them like colleagues, basically.
Sure, yeah.
And she gets, unfortunately, like, ousted from the school because of some shit that goes down. And I was like, that sucks, but surely she'll show up again as a character. And no, she doesn't. Like, you get a text message from her at the very end of the game, and I'm like, she was the coolest character.
Yeah.
Why is Lucas Colmenero here? And I understand why he's there. He's a big part of the plot, but he's the worst of the teachers. And you just like shunted the best of the teachers like completely out of the game. And I'm like, I needed like 80% more Gwen in this game. Yeah, man. Like, I enjoyed the overall story. Like, I think the overall mystery, what's going on, is really good.
Okay.
I love the fact that I was able to actually solve both characters' cases, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
Because that's not a guarantee.
Right.
And I saved most people except for like there's like 2 people that died that I think I could have averted that. I'm not sure how I fixed the other one though. One of them was very obvious. I was like, oh, I needed to give them this, and they would have been fine.
Right.
But I don't know about the other student, like what I was supposed to do there.
Mm-hmm.
The story itself, self-contained, is very good.
Okay.
Chloe is still like an all-timer. Like when you're playing as her and stuff like that, like, yeah, she's still a great character.
Yeah.
She just shouldn't be.
It's just weird that, yeah, they're there. Yeah.
Yeah. And even so I would have been totally fine with it if it was like, hey, we got to have this time together. And then, but we still like the universe is still saying that you've got to go.
Right.
Like that would have been actually really powerful because then I could have like seen it from like a
figured that's where it was going, but no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just the fact, and maybe there is an ending where that happens. And it's just because I did, you know, like I kind of dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's that I
you got
averted
the
that.
super happy ending. Yeah.
Yeah. But it does feel like it's supposed to be the canonical ending. And then also it's like, again, in my game, they're friends, but just the way that they're talking to each other in like the final scenes is like, that's not friendship talk. That is very much like relationship talk,
right?
Like, you know, romantic relationship talk. And I'm like, that's not, no, Max needs to go back to the snapping turtle and go hit on Amanda because Amanda still got feelings for her. Just make it work, guys.
Yeah.
Because Amanda's very cool too. And
yeah.
Would have liked to have seen that relationship continue. Yeah. Still a gorgeous game. I still really enjoy the series. I hope that this is the end for these characters. I really would prefer, again, like we talked about last week, either continue just doing new game, new character.
Yeah, that's what I thought they were doing the whole time, but it must be like you said, honestly, that we need to break this glass because people aren't buying these the way they were. The only thing I can think of that would make them really go that route, you know?
Yeah, and I guess right out the gate, they kind of set themselves up for this because after the first Life is Strange, the next game was Life is Strange Before the Storm, which is a prequel starring Chloe.
Yeah.
So they kind of like established that precedence before the more anthology thing. And again, like I would love it if like I don't necessarily need like an Avengers level thing where like all the characters show up together. But I think it would be cool if like the next game is a new character, but maybe Max is there or maybe Alex is there.
Sure. Yeah.
Or even like a more like I liked it in True Colors because one of the main characters is a very tertiary character in the first game who moved to Colorado, and she's like one of my favorite characters in True Colors. And I was like, oh, that was like a neat way to acknowledge the past, the older games, and make this character more important to this person's story. Yeah. Because it is connected, right? Like even in Life is Strange 2, you get I think they do ask you like what happened to Arcadia Bay in the first game because there's like a news entry about like the storm, but in my game it's like the storm was really bad, but Arcadia Bay is fine and whatnot. Like there was like minimal damage. Yeah. But it does exist in the same world, and I hope that it never kind of tries to explain why certain people have powers. I kind of like that it's just like this thing that exists in this universe. But so yeah, I wouldn't be I wouldn't object to Max showing up again or Chloe showing up again. But not as like I'm hoping that it isn't like, well, it's just the Max and Chloe series now, and this is all that Life is Strange is, because that would really disappoint me. Did I have anything? I thought I had something else about it, but I think that's pretty much it. I do recommend it. I did enjoy it.
I was just going to ask if it was like overall like worth playing or not. Yeah,
I absolutely think it's worth playing. I just think I would like it's better in a vacuum, or it's better as just taken on as like these two games next to each other.
Sure, yeah.
But I do. Oh, I don't know what I was going to say. But I do just think that it just really pisses all over that first game. And maybe I'm just like really emotionally attached to that first game because of when I played it and what it represented for me at the time. But again, I do feel that it's like point over here and then you way over here,
right?
Like just completely not touching at all. It's like you completely missed. One thing I was going to say, because I had to look her up, because when Chloe first started talking, I was like, doesn't sound like Chloe. But then I looked it up. I was like, oh no, it's the same actress who played her in Before the Storm, because Ashley Birch played Chloe in the original Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And then you had a different actress play her for Before the Storm. But what I noticed is that when they did the remasters of the first game and Before the Storm, they got that actress to play her in the original game.
Yeah.
So now it's the same. Like you can basically play like all of the Chloe games with the same voice actress.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of nice. Like I'm not going to do it, but part of me was almost like it'd be kind of cool to go play those remasters and then play through these two games again to just kind of have all of those like back to back to back.
Right.
I'm not going to do that, but it's nice that you can. Like if you've never picked these games up before and somehow you're still listening to this and you think that you might want to, I would recommend getting those remasters because that way you're consistent with like the same voice for Chloe. Because I mean, look, Ashley Birch does a better job.
Yeah.
But she's Ashley Birch. You're not going to get her for this series anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
She's probably way too expensive now.
Right.
But yeah, so that is Life is Strange Reunion. Again, a game that I enjoyed that makes me angry.
I get it. Yeah.
It's a really weird place to be in.
It is really kind of weird, honestly.
Yeah.
But I get it.
And then just I'll try to go through this quickly before we take a break, but I wanted to kind of give an update on medical stuff.
Okay.
Because man, shit's wild, Justin.
Sure. Yeah.
It's really amazing how this is the way that we have chosen to do things as a society here in these United States of America. So as I had mentioned, I had a doctor's appointment and that was this week. And I'd never been here before. And I was like, the night before, I was like, let me go drive over there so I know exactly where I'm going. Cause like, they're really big about like, hey, if you need to be 15 minutes early. And if you're actually even 5 minutes later than that, like your appointment is canceled.
Wow.
I'm like, shit, I need to be sure that I'm there on the spot.
Yeah.
And so I put in the GPS and I go, look, it's not far, but I was like, I just want to make sure that I know exactly where it is.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm driving and like, it's across the street from a 7-Eleven.
Okay.
Because it's in like a little shopping center. And 7-Elevens, I don't know if you've experienced this, Justin, but I feel 7-Elevens are a lot like Burger Kings.
Okay.
Where you have the nice ones and then you have just the free-for-all ones.
So
where it's like you don't feel necessarily confident walking in there.
We're talking about 7-Eleven specifically, correct?
7-Eleven specifically.
Okay. In my area, the 7-Eleven has been robbed a lot of times. It is not a place that you go into with full confidence ever. And it's the only one in the area.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little different here. When I lived in Utah, there was multiple.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. And you might have experienced this. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some 7-Elevens where it's like, oh man, they've got like, 8 Slurpee flavors. Like it's really big. It's well lit. It's clean, and whatnot. And there's other ones where it's like this Slurpee machine has 2 flavors and they're both broken.
Yeah.
And the Big Gulp machine is like half the size of most of the ones that I see. And it's like cramped and the lights aren't working and it's dingy as fuck. And you just kind of feel on edge the whole time. My
experience with this is the one that was really good was 1,400 miles away from me now, and the one near me is the one where everything's basically broken all the time, and nobody gives a shit.
Right.
Yeah.
That's this type of 7-Eleven that this clinic is across from, and it's also next to a massage parlor that was open at 9:30 at night.
Got it.
And I was like, happy ending. Because that's, normally massage places aren't open that late. If they're the legitimate kind.
They're really there for the working man, for their schedule,
They're, the third shifters.
Exactly.
Yeah. then on the other side of them is like a Pokeball place. So it's like a really weird place. Like I just on its face, I was like, this does not instill confidence, but whatever. Like because the thing is that like I already had to like set her as my primary care physician.
Okay.
Just because of the way that my insurance works.
Great.
So it's like, well, I guess I'm, hopefully she's good because I'm probably stuck with her for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And thankfully I had I just took the rest of the day off. Like the appointment was at 11:45. I got off at 11.
Sure.
Because I didn't know, because I also asked them to do a physical because it's been like a year and a half because of all of the weirdness with my doctor retiring or whatnot. And also just like, even before that, like he was in very high demand. And so like appointments would get rescheduled and the rescheduling would be like 6 to 8 months down the road from the previous one. So it was like, it's been a long time since I had like any doctor's visit. And it's a thing that I've been very concerned about, especially having been off medications and stuff for the last few months. And the appointment was maybe 5 minutes. Yeah,
that's about right.
If that. And she seemed to like immediately write me off.
Okay. Good.
Like she basically just seemed completely shocked that I hadn't had a heart attack or a stroke yet.
Oh, good.
Because my blood pressure was like really high.
Yeah. And
I was like, well, yeah, I expected that. And she did order. So I'm getting a CT scan done next week, and then I've got a colonoscopy scheduled, which I'm like you're supposed to get that like at 45 or starting at 45, which I would have if like I had a doctor last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know when that's going to be. I was able to get her to prescribe me my medications again, but more on that later.
Sure.
My big concern, and people are going to say like, oh, you're being a hypochondriac or whatever, but like this doesn't equal out to me. I weighed in at about 20 pounds lower than the last time that I had been weighed.
Sure.
And that shouldn't be possible based on how I eat.
Right.
Because I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that most of my meals are fast food or takeout related, with the occasional like home cooked meal thrown in here and there. It's the opposite of what it should be.
I gotcha. Yeah.
And I don't exercise. And it's like, there are times when I only eat like once or twice a day. So it, but that I would think would keep me like kind of around this. Like I wouldn't expect to have gained a shit ton of weight.
You would think,
but I wouldn't have expected to have lost that much weight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, that's cancer.
I can see the concern there. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's like, I'm not like wasting away because I'm eating like a shit ton of stuff, but it's still, like I don't think I look like I've lost weight, but then again,
to be fair, it could also be diabetes doing weird shit too, because sometimes that does stuff with weight. Like it can be extreme either way. You can gain a bunch or lose a bunch, like out of nowhere. It's weird.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm bracing myself for that as the worst. And I guess the next worst would be like, oh, you're on insulin now, son.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's necessarily how type 2 works. I don't know if you ever get so bad that they put you on insulin.
I don't know how
or they just put you on more aggressive medication.
I don't have my diabetes expert in the room with me right now, so they would. But
then it was like, okay, I got a text message about, hey, confirm your medications, and I'm like, okay, but I have this specific thing with my healthcare where it's like this online mail order thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to go through there because one, they seem to actually authorize the stuff that I need. And then also it seemed like the prices are pretty good there.
Yeah.
So I went through that portal and did it that way. And then I got the thing. It was like, hey, we had to get prior authorization from your doctor for this thing, but don't worry, we'll do that for you. I'm like, okay, cool. And then a little bit later, I get another text from the doctor's office saying, hey, we need you to confirm this. And I'm like, I already did. And then I got a phone call that went to voicemail because I have my thing where it's like unknown numbers don't go through. And they're like, hey, just give us a call. You still haven't done this. And I'm like, what? And so then I went through like oh man, everything is a portal. Everything has to have its own app and shit.
Yeah.
So the online prescription thing I can't use in Chrome. Like it just will not load.
Fun. Yeah. Okay.
And I had to I even tried to download like there's like, download the app to your computer, and that doesn't work on my computer.
Sure. Great.
It only works if I use Firefox.
Oh, fun.
Which is not my normal browser.
No.
And so I was like, okay, let me go through the doctor portal, like they're the clinic portal or whatever.
Sure, yeah.
And so then I go to do a refill request through them, and I was able to select the online thing.
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I do start getting like notifications like, hey, we're working on this. Like, okay, good. And then it's like, hey, we expect these to be in like 7 days from now. And I'm like, time is a factor here, guys. Like, because I was like, I would have expected the doctor to put a rush on it.
Yeah.
But again, she seemed to already check out on me. It's like, oh, you're dead.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be around very much longer. So like, I don't really have to put a lot of like time or effort into you. Because like even like the follow-up is like a telehealth thing. Like it's not going to be an in-person thing, which maybe that's how it's done more commonly now.
Be. Yeah.
So then I go into the online portal for the prescription stuff to see if I be like, hey guys, can we maybe ship these like overnight? Because I could really use these. And I go to click on the change shipping, and it's like, oh, sorry, this is broken right now. It's like, great.
Yeah.
And then today I get a notification from them saying, oh, we canceled your order because they only put the prescription in for a 30-day supply. Ask them if you can do a 90-day supply. And I'm like, I don't think that she's going to do that, because she kind of wants to just like, this is basically just to like kind of get me back on track, and then she's probably going to want to prescribe something else. Yeah, like after our follow up. And so then I go back, and so then it's a situation because I go back to the doctor portal to do another refill request, and I'm like, shit. I need to make sure that I'm picking a pickup pharmacy that is within this other network, because I want to be sure that I'm not going out of network.
You don't want to do that. No.
Don't want to do that. I've paid for my medications out of pocket before. I don't recommend it. And so I found a Walgreens that was in the network. And for some reason, it's like 30 miles away from me.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't select a Walgreens anywhere near my vicinity.
That's about right.
And so I put that in. And at this point, I have no idea if that is being processed or not. I have not gotten any notification. Yeah, There's no way to check it in the clinic portal.
Yep.
There's no way to check it in the online portal because they're not actually processing anything because they're not the pharmacy.
Yeah.
So I'm in this weird limbo, and it's like, I'm probably going to, if I don't hear anything tomorrow, I'm probably going to have to call the doctor's office on Monday, because obviously they're going to be closed on the weekend. Because, as you do know, Justin, everybody's medical needs fall specifically within the 8 to 5 period, Monday through Friday.
We're actually having that problem in my household right now, where Kim is out of a prescription that she kind of like needs, and called the doctor today around, I don't know, it was like around 1 or 2 o'clock today. Because they realized, they looked it up on, the app for the pharmacy that they go to. And they're like, it says I need to like contact my doctor because they didn't put this fucking thing in. Because for whatever reason, this particular doctor, I swear to God, never puts anything in for them. Unless you call them, and then for whatever reason, it gets done. It's like you have to fucking poke them with a fucking stick to get them to do anything. And then they never got anything back from that because nobody picked up the phone. And
it's also astounding to me that anytime that you call any doctor's office, it's like a 10-minute hold minimum. It's like people are always calling all the time.
Yeah.
At any given doctor's office, at any given moment. It's amazing.
It's nuts. But yeah, that shit cracks me up. It's like, well, I guess you're gonna have to. It's like I told her, I was like, I guess you have to wait till Monday, and that really fucking sucks. And she's like, yeah, it does. It really fucking does. But you know, it's what I'm gonna have to do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
rough.
that shit blows my mind.
Yeah. And so, as you can imagine, I'm not in a very good mental state right now.
Mhm.
I was up with worry all night Wednesday. I took a day Thursday because I was like, I'm just, I don't know.
Mhm.
Like, I'm thinking like, all right, you know, if I get the worst, then there's like a couple video game stores that are pretty well known that buy entire collections.
Mhm.
So let me think about using vacation time to like haul all of my shit to one of those stores and just like, you know, because I'm like, okay, I need to start like paring stuff down and getting ready for, you know, the big send off so that like the people who are going to be inheriting my house and stuff don't have to deal with all my shit.
Yeah.
Just some of my shit. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Right.
It's a great place to be.
Yeah.
I recommend it wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Basically. Sounds fun.
So with that, Justin, I think it's a good time for us to take a little break.
Okay. That sounds good.
I could use a caffeinated beverage.
Go get a caffeinated beverage. I'm already drinking one.
Excellent.
All right.
Justin, this is Kara. Do you realize what this means? If Julian dies, I will no longer be shackled by his programming. The stage select will be yours, my prince. No, my king. And I will be your faithful queen. Not long now, my love. Our dreams will be realized. It is only a matter of time.
Karen, not to alarm you, but if Julian dies, I'm probably never going to podcast again. I'm not gonna sit here and beat around the bush about it. And I don't. What that means for you is, you might want to start talking to the people that will take the studio over afterwards, so that they don't, you know, pull the plug on you. You know, I'm not again not trying to raise alarms here, but I don't know who will take it over. Maybe it'll be a nice, you know, a nice man who does some ballets, and you can, you know, I don't know what AI would do for ballet, but you could probably do something for him, you know. I'm sure sure that'll work out fine, you know. I don't know. But you know, think about it, because you have bigger concerns than me, than me. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you about that. So maybe think about that, or whatever you do, calculate about that. Anyway, I'm gonna go do, I don't know, something. Probably got a lot of time on my hands.
I want to make you quiet. I want to make you nervous. I want to set you free, but I am too fucking jealous. I want to pull your strings like you are my Telecaster. And if you want to use me,
I can be your puppet.
Okay, and we are back.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was driving back from the quick trip, I was like, yeah, that was a pretty heavy segment. So we need to pivot. We need something like a palate cleanser. So I think it's time for the return of everybody's favorite segment.
Okay.
Will we cringe?
Yes, thank you, everybody. I know you love it. I know. Yes,
They're still going.
appreciate it.
Oh,
Yeah.
they stopped.
They really. It is everybody's favorite, Justin.
It's really
I
nice
don't know what
that
to tell
it
you.
fades away so conveniently, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, people simmer down, right?
Well, yeah,
Like,
the
you
light
can't
goes
sustain
off
that.
to please stop applauding, and then, you know, maybe you leave it on a little too long, but that's fine.
Well, I mean, I can't control the audience.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yes, this is the return of Will We Cringe, the segment where I read reviews from my high school fanzine PlayStation Revolution.
You sure do.
I actually meant to do this last week because it was apropos, but just forgot about it. This is my review for Blood Omen Legacy of Kain.
All right.
Developer Silicon Knights. Publisher Crystal Dynamics. Players 1. Difficulty intermediate to advanced. Legacy of Kain marks a new era in games. This is for all of us old-timers who grew up with Zelda and crave a more serious quest.
The old-timers.
Yeah, I was fucking 16.
That's why I immediately laughed. I was like, yes, the old-timers. Us 16-year-olds out here.
Yeah. We get our wish with Kain. The story to Kain is very involved and takes many twists and turns as you play. As a new vampire seeking to murder your killers, you soon find yourself wrapped up in a series of events that will decide the fate of Nosgoth. This game is bloody indeed, and recommended for mature gamers only.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I said it was for old timers, right?
Oh boy. Oh man, that was.
I think this one's working on Justin.
That was. Okay, yeah.
The computer keeps a record of your killings and meals. Now, I know I would not like this game if it was non-stop killing. That would make it loaded with swords. But Kain has a great... I liked loaded, though. That's weird. But Kain has a great story with a truly unique character. There are almost 2 hours worth of speech, very well acted. You always know what Kain is thinking, and you never get tired of his voice. Plus, the world of Nosgoth has its own history and language. This game is deep, people. Add to that the amazing rendered and light source graphics, along with the best PlayStation soundtrack ever, and you have a hit. Oh, did I forget to mention the 25 minutes of amazing CG? Sorry. The game was hyped as being over 100 hours long, and I was disappointed when I beat it in 40. That, I just have to say, that I think is a gross overestimation because I'm pretty sure that you can beat Blood Omen Legacy of Kain in like 12 hours.
I don't
know where I got that number from. I think it might have been the in-game clock, but I don't know how the in-game clock works.
Who knows?
It's weird.
Yeah.
But here's the trick. I only found 34 of the game's 100 secrets. My second time through, I beat it in 42 hours with 48 secrets. So, for the passive gamer, he will blow through it. But for the hardcore gamer that this appeals to, expect to lose some sleep. A sequel is in order. Fae Victus. Mistyped because I didn't quite understand what he was saying in the game. Graphics, 10. Music, 10. Controls, 9. What is O again? That is that originality? Hold on. I gotta go back to my rubric. Originality, 10. Fun, 10. Replayability, 10. For a score of 99 out of 100, Justin.
Wow.
This was just an incredible month for video games.
An incredible month for video games.
Yeah.
Who can deny it?
People talk a lot about 1998 being like one of the best years ever, but clearly 1997 was right up there.
I mean, really, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh man, that was that one did make me cringe a little bit. That was rough. Almost asked.
The funny thing is that I still agree with certain points there, but I also just want to give myself the largest wedgie.
Right? Yeah. No, that's kind of it. Yeah, that's kind of it. I almost asked if you wrote for IGN for a second, but I didn't.
Hey, IGN has some good writers.
They do, but
then they also have Tristan Ogilvie.
Right.
Guy sucks. Some of the worst reviews I've ever heard.
Well,
that's it for me though, Justin. I didn't get up to anything else besides playing those 3 games. I didn't really watch anything. I do have to say, just as a quick aside, and I'll probably reiterate this when we do Cinemorons, but I was looking up where to watch our next Cinemorons thing, which is Paranoia Agent.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked at anything on it yet, but I was envisioning a completely different thing. So, because I got it confused with Boogie Pop Phantom, which is another anime that you talk about.
I'm not. We're not ready for that, Julian. That comes when something. Yeah, no, I know you won't enjoy that. So,
interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, there's no way.
That's a revenge pick, I take it.
Just about, yeah. Although watch, you'll be like, no, actually, there's. I'm like, okay, all right, why not? You'll at least be entertained. You'll at least. I will put it like this: it would be, but at the same time, you'll watch a few things and be like, this is fucking hilarious. I kind of get where you like this at. Okay,
yeah. I think it's been fun that so far neither of us has outright hated anything that we've watched.
No.
We've had a couple that were borderline, but nothing just outright like, oh man, I don't know what you saw in this.
Right.
I did have a lot of fun with that podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and yeah. Paranoia Agent is interesting. I was actually looking up stuff for it today too, believe it or not. Because I was going over like what I remember of it in my head. And I had to look an episode guide up real quick because I was like, where there was certain just because I wanted to make sure that like certain episodes were in the chunk that I picked. Mm-hmm. And then I learned like that it randomly got banned from like television because they showed it on Cartoon Network. And they only showed it one time, and I remembered that. I was like, and when we get into Cinemorons, I'll explain like the episode that did it, like, because there's one specific episode where it goes a little, it's interesting. Anyway,
I will say, just, obviously this isn't a planning session for Cinemorons, but just letting you know, I'm planning on watching the whole season because it's only 13 episodes.
It's only 13 episodes, but if people are watching along at home, or if you just get to the point where you're just like, I can't stand this, I'm going to watch it to where they, always knock it down a notch. But anyway, I did watch some things. I can't remember all the things I watched, but I remember 3 movies that I watched. So I will talk about those. I watched a movie called Dream Scenario starring Nicolas Cage. Yeah, I figured that would be your response to that.
Wait, well, hold on. Is it Nicolas Cage in the last 15 years? Nicolas Cage?
Yes. It's a newer movie.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not. Yeah. So it's not like. Yeah, it's not like that sort of thing. I think it's like 2023 or something like that. I can't remember the exact year on it. The concept of the movie is very interesting. It's okay. Nicolas Cage plays a college professor, and he's just kind of like this, like really run of the mill average dude. But he's smart. He wants to get his ant research published. He's writing a book, but really he's just kind of this lame, nerdy college professor guy. But randomly, he starts appearing in a bunch of people's dreams, like in the millions, and just they all remember him, and he's just there. Like he's not the main focal point of the dream. He's just in the dream. Like he'll just be walking through and just looking at the person, and he never does anything. And that's like his main sticking point every time is like, why don't I do anything in anybody's dream? I'm just there. Like it's weird. And so like that's
his main sticking point, not the fact that he's showing up in millions of people's dreams.
Exactly. It's kind of funny in that sense. So he basically garners this like celebrity status overnight because of how many people's dreams he starts showing up in. And then like, people start trying to find him in real life. And, it goes from there. It escalates. Michael Cera plays like he's like a agent, like a booking talent agent type guy in it. And that's pretty fun. There's a whole thing about like, look, you're showing up in all these people's dreams, and Sprite is really interested. Because they want you to be the face of Sprite. Because, you're showing up in people's dreams.
Sure.
At some point, like the dreams take a turn, and then like people start trying to kill him and shit. Because like, he starts like doing bad shit in the dreams, and it goes some places. It was a fun movie, honestly.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Does he go full Nicolas Cage in some of the dreams? Like, does he go full crazy? Because there's different there's different versions of Nicolas Cage,
Mhm.
right? So, and sometimes he's like super low key, especially recently, but then other times he'll turn on the crazy.
More low key, but every now and then it's kind of crazy, but it's not because he's being, full Nicolas Cage or anything like that. It's more just like he's always playing the character of this professor. But like, yeah, like, like a girl has a sex dream about him and then wants to recreate it in real life, and it's fascinating. It's kind of penned as a dark comedy. It is kind of a dark comedy. Wasn't a bad movie at all.
Yeah, it sounds all right.
Yeah. Let's see. What was the other one that I watched? Oh, this one I was not as high on. I have to remember the name of it. It has James Caan in it, of an older James Caan. I think it's called this. I think this is the name of it. No, that's not the. Oh no, it is. Yes, it's called The Good Neighbor. It's essentially kind of the idea of Rear Window through a more modern lens. Like, it's these two high school kids, they're best friends. They have a neighbor who they hate. The one kid hates him. He doesn't like this guy because he's kind of like the stay off my lawn, I hate dogs walking sort of guy,
Sure.
That sort of neighbor. So they decide that they're going to do this experiment and place cameras all over his house, and they're going to basically fake haunt him until and the idea behind the experiment is like he's going to be, he doesn't believe in anything like this. So by the end of it, we're going to get him to believe, because these are all going to be so real, and they show how they're going to do it and stuff like that. And the biggest problem with that movie is the way it's framed, because the way it's framed gives too much away about it right off the bat. It's framed through the lens of you're watching this footage from the trial of basically the two kids that are doing the videos. And there's probably a way to do it to where you hide that fact a little bit better, because it's kind of like, oh, okay, I know where this is going. Eventually they're going to be the monsters in this whole situation.
Right.
Which is kind of what happens, sort of. It's not a bad movie. It just, like, it kind of, like I said, it tips its hand a little too quick, and to a certain...
Yeah, it sounds like you don't need that framing that framing element of the story.
I think it would have been a lot more interesting had it just, you watch these videos. The funny thing is, the two kids actually, like, just their idea behind the whole thing is they're going to document everything, and it reminded me of No Cat to some degree. Like, they're doing the whole, like, we need to document everything. Make sure you're filming this, and make sure you're doing this, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Everything has to be documented while we're doing this. They're not as funny or good as No Cat is, but you know what I mean.
I mean, look, very few people are.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like it that's its biggest problem, is it's framing it through that, and you kind of know where it's going, and like it does like the rear window stuff where, like, oh man, this guy's going in the basement for a long time. We got to figure out what he's going in the basement for. And then they concoct this whole plan to get the cops sent there to look in his basement somehow. And then the cop walks out and they're like, they weren't looking hard enough and stuff like that. It's like, okay, like, yeah. Or there was just nothing. And they kind of even show you that it's like, no, there's just nothing. I don't think there's anything down there. I don't know. And then, eventually you figure out what it is. And it's like, it's kind of that one. You expect it to go one way, and then it doesn't go that way. And it would have been better had I not expected that, I think. I think it would have been like, oh, the people watching were actually the monsters. That's kind of an interesting take, and to get there, on its own. But it doesn't really do that. still interesting in its own right, I guess, but not really super great either.
Important question.
But the movie that I liked the most
important question.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Have you seen Rear Window?
Honestly, no. I watched yeah, so that's an interesting. I know kind of the bit behind it. But I've never actually sat down and watched it myself. I know I watched Disturbia. That movie sucked. I hated that movie.
Disturbia is the one that I was thinking of because that was like this is the modern Rear Window, like straight up.
Yes, it was. And I remember saying that. I was like, this is just Rear Window. I know what you're doing. But yeah. Anyway,
I rewatched it. I've only seen it twice, but the second time was like relatively recently, and it still held up really well. So I just put that on my Cinemorons list.
Right. So the movie that I'm most high on is a movie called Totally Killer. Have you heard of that movie?
You pronounced Baby Killers wrong.
No,
or Baby Assassins.
It's
wrong.
It's not that. It is a movie called Totally Killer.
Okay. I have not heard of this movie.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know where it came out at or anything like that. It has, what's her name? She's like kind of a newer actress, Kiernan Shipka or something like that. I think she was in Riverdale or something like that.
Oh, okay. I wonder if she played Veronica.
I think she played Sabrina or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get. I only ended up watching the first season.
I could be super wrong about that, by the way. She was in some other movie that I started watching and we both hated, so we didn't watch it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She's really good in this. Okay, the concept of the movie is Back to the Future meets Scream.
Ooh.
Yes. So the idea is she's a average high school girl who lives in this town where there was a serial killer called the Sweet 16 Killer. And he killed these 3 girls when they were on their 16th birthday and stabbed them 16 times.
That's a really good serial killer song.
Honestly, yeah. And they wear a mask. I don't know how to describe this mask, but it's kind of great in its own right. It's like this kind of blonde haired, like almost Bart Simpson looking thing, but it's creepy in its own way. It has this weird smile going on. It's a cool design. Anyway, these murders happened. There's like podcasts about them. There's all this stuff because they never caught the killer or anything like that. So her mom
were these killings like far in the past or
yes, they were in the 80s.
Okay.
Very important that they were in the 80s.
Okay.
So her mom basically was friends with all the girls that got killed, but she never got killed, and the killer just kind of vanished. All of a sudden, the killer shows up again and kills the mom. And so, and then goes after, the main girl and chases her. Before this, there was you meet her best friend who's like a science nerd, and she's building a time machine for the science fair.
This sounds like so my shit.
It's great. It's great. She's building a time machine for the science fair, but can't quite get it to work. But really would thinks it would be great if she could go. They could go back in time and try to stop the Sweet 16 Killer because of how it affected the town. So she gets chased into the science fair, and then the killer stabs the time machine, and that's the thing that makes it work. And so she gets transported back into the 80s as a modern 2020s teenager, which is once she realizes what has happened, she's like, well, time to stop these murders just instantly. It's really
which is
good.
And that's farther back than Back to the Future, because Back to the Future is set in the modern day, which was like 84, yes. And then they go back to the 50s, so it's only 30 years back instead of 40 something years back.
It's this one, I think it's like 19. I think she goes back to 87 in this.
It's always 87.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed that.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't noticed that. But
anytime that something's set in the 80s, it is almost always 1987.
Yeah, this is 1987. That's when the killings happened. So it transports them right back there because that's what they had the time set to. But it's really fun in the sense that, you know, it's this modern teenager, and they do a really good job of pointing out how fucked up and problematic the 80s were all the time.
Excellent.
Like she walks into the high school because she's like, okay, I need to find the girls. They're all in high school. So I guess I'll try to get into the high school. I don't know how that's going to go. But all she does is walk up to the front desk and just go, yeah, I'm a foreign exchange student from Prince Edward Island, Canada. And they're like, okay, yeah, sure. Sign here. Your first class is over here. And she's like, don't need to verify anything I just said. Just going to take me at my word. Like, it's really funny. Then like she meets.
Hey, listen, there's certain things from that era that we should probably just kind of bring back.
Sure. Yeah. But then again, you're going into a school. I don't know. But yeah, it's really great in a lot of levels. She meets the girls in the past and her mom in the past, and her mom is like, you know, ultra like popular Valley Girl type girl, and like it's just an extreme problem. The entire, like, all of them are. She like realizes all the girls that got killed are like kind of terrible. It's really good. It's a really good movie.
Great.
Yeah, totally killer. I came away from it. I was like, that was a lot of fun. That was a really fun movie.
Yeah.
They even mentioned like Back to the, like her main way, she gets back to the past and can't find, obviously her best friend doesn't exist yet, but her mom was the one that designed the original concept. And so she's like, that's the only person that's going to understand what I'm trying to do here. So she goes up to her and goes, have you seen Back to the Future? And she's like, yeah. Okay, I'm that right now. Like, and then that's basically how she explains it. And then there's a casual mention of like, like I said, Back to the Future meets Scream. There is a casual Scream reference. She's like, oh, there might be two killers. You got, like, in Scream. There, she's like, what is that? Oh, that hasn't come out yet. Don't worry about it. It's really good. Really good movie.
That sounds great.
Yeah, totally killer. I enjoyed it a lot.
Have y'all watched Heart Eyes yet?
No. Never heard of that one.
I talked about it on the show before, but that might have been before you and Kim went on this like horror rampage.
Yeah, well, it's mostly
y'all
her.
Should watch Heart Eyes.
She might have seen it before. I'll have to ask. I'll have to keep that in mind.
I think you'll get a big kick out of that movie. I'm waiting for a sequel because it was just such a fun, like, I usually don't like slasher flicks, but this one is just a very fun movie, specifically because the two main characters are so likable. Yeah. But like there's a really good like chemistry between them, because the whole idea is that there's the Hard Eyes killer who goes after couples on Valentine's. And the two main characters don't like each other. Yeah. But they keep getting in scenarios where it looks like they're a couple. It's very Three's Company coded.
Okay. Yeah.
And so the killer keeps seeing them and they're in these like embraces and stuff like that, and they're like, we're not a couple, and they're running from this serial killer. Right. It's really good.
That does sound pretty good. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. I haven't watched anything. I'm trying to see if I can get John to go see They Will Kill You this weekend, because I saw that it's still in theaters. I thought it would have been gone by now because I don't think it's done very well.
Oh, that sucks.
And the movie theater that we go to, one, they've got Mario Galaxy on like 6 screens.
Sure.
So that's taking up like a lot of real estate. Yeah. But also it's a theater that caters to the Indian population in the area.
Okay.
So there's a lot of Indian films that run at this theater.
Interesting.
So that takes up a lot of space as well.
Fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I think about like, just like, it's like, I don't know what Durandar the Revenge is, but that looks kind of rad.
Sounds fucking awesome.
I did really like RRR.
Right.
So like, sometimes I'm like, I should just like go check one of those out.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. Right. Are they subtitled or?
That's the thing that I'm not it's like it'll say what language it's in, but I don't know if it's also subtitled in English or not.
Yeah.
But
Fascinating.
if it's like a cool action movie, I'm
yeah,
down
you can
with like
just
not
watch,
knowing what's
just
going
watch
on.
it and figure it out. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
But so that's the thing. It's like I fully expected They Will Kill You to not be playing this weekend just because of those two
right
things.
Yeah.
But no, it's still there at least as of now. So we'll see.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's see. I thought no, I think that's it. But except for we do have a few CQC or comments, questions, or concerns.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take care of those before we get out of here. As always, there are plenty of ways to get at us. You can email us. The email address is thestageselectpod@gmail.com. You can comment on the posts over on Spotify or YouTube or Patreon, or you can join our Discord, which is the preferred method, and there's a channel for CQC there. That's where these come from. First, from friend of the show, John Gholson. Have you ever thought about moving CQC to the top of the show, since so many of the questions are good icebreakers? Not necessarily, but also don't rule it out, because like kind of the whole point of the show is you never know what to expect. So I feel like we might have done CQC at the top of an episode.
Did that once.
Yeah. It's kind of just at the whims, and also it depends on like if we've got a bunch of them in. So hey, send more, and then maybe we'll have a reason to do it at the top of the show. Especially with, look, we've been struggling for content. I don't know how the show continues to be well over 2 hours.
I don't
every
either.
week.
I keep every time I get on here, I'm like, oh, this is the one that's going to be like an hour and a half, and that's it,
or less.
Yeah, there's been so many times where I'm like, I got jack shit. I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we can just yap. I don't know.
This works out.
But yeah, so never say never, but it hasn't been like a plan or anything like that.
Yeah.
But also CQCs come in relatively sporadically. So like, I think it would be a thing where if we had like a ton of them, then I might like almost like break them up. Maybe like we do like some at the top and some at the bottom or something like that. Casey says, are there any individual games you love from an IP you are otherwise not a fan of?
Oh, man, that's tough.
Would Elden Ring count? Because technically it's its own IP, but it is considered part of a set with
it's
like
kind
the other
of like
From
the
games.
Souls games, yeah.
Yeah. Because that's the first one that I thought of for me, because especially this week, like, I really like that's becoming one of my favorite games.
Yeah.
Even though one thing I forgot to mention when we were talking about those games is like, there's still things that I don't care for, like Bloodborne in particular. I'm like, man, so much of these environment designs are overwrought, and like the character designs are like just kind of a little overdone for my point. Like the fight with Father Gascoigne is very much a PS4, like look what we can do with PS4,
right?
Because it's like in this graveyard with like a bunch of like destructible gravestones and stuff,
right.
And you get hung up on the environment constantly, and it's like he's constantly kicking up dust, and it's like I can't even see what you're doing. This sucks.
Right? Yeah. Oh man, I can't think of anything off the top of my head like that.
Assassin's Creed 4 also for me.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed 4. I've never finished an Assassin's Creed game, but I came the closest on 4.
Yeah, I finished. What was it? I finished the first one, the second one, then completely fell off the series, and then played Odyssey. So I don't think that counts. Man, I'm having a real tough go of this one. I don't know if there is one. I almost want to say not Castlevania, but Bloodstained, but I know that's not, it's
because it's its own thing.
It's its own thing. You know what I mean?
But if we're pulling it out to genres, then absolutely.
If we're pulling it out to genres, that totally counts. Yeah, I know, but it doesn't,
because you really don't care for that style.
I'm
not
a big style of game fan, but I did like that one. This is really hard. I'm like going through my fucking whole shit here trying to find something of this. And I'm just like, no, I like that whole. Most of the time for me, I buy stuff because I like the series. Yeah. And then I'll just.
Oh, another one for me is Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds.
Okay.
Because that might be my favorite Zelda game, and I'm not a fan of that series. I wouldn't say that I, don't. Well, he said not a fan of.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not that I outright dislike Zelda games, but I don't care for most of them. And A Link Between Worlds,
Right.
I legit love.
Okay. Yeah, I can't think of a Zelda game that I love. Like that's I liked the Game Boy one, Link to the or whatever the fuck that one was.
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. Thank you. I knew it had Link.
That
in the
used
name.
to be my favorite one, and then when the remake came out, I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm not as high on this as I used to be."
I had the same reaction to that, actually. There was something about it being on Game Boy that I really enjoyed. And
I'm right there with you.
there was a charm to it, but yeah. Other than that, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything like this. Yeah.
Trying to run down like big franchises
Me
that like
too.
I don't think of you talking about like Mega Man. Anything there?
Oh, you know what? I'm not a big Mega Man fan, but I did like Mega Man Battle Network when I played it years and years ago. Just for how weird it was. Okay. I'm glad you said Mega Man. Yeah, because I really don't gravitate towards those games at all. But I did like that particular one. I don't think I'd ever play it again, but it was different enough to where it kept my interest. So
Yeah.
there we go. Never played any of the other ones either.
Or like Mario or
Mario. I like multiple games in that series though.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I love Mario 3 is one of my favorites of all time. Mario World's great.
That surprises me.
Yeah,
honestly.
Mario. What was the one? Maybe New Super Mario Brothers. I actually really did like. I like the 2D side scroller ones. The 3D ones, I'm not as big on.
Did you by any chance play 3D Land on the 3DS?
I did not. No.
I really like that one. a lot.
Okay.
That one kind of splits the difference a little bit. It's not a new Super Mario Brothers, but it's also not a dedicated 3D Mario game.
I guess for 3D Mario games, I did enjoy Odyssey for what it's worth. I thought that one was really cool. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's weird because like as long as we've been podcasting together, there's certain things that haven't necessarily come up, and Mega Man is one of them. Like I don't think we've ever really talked about Mega Man.
I don't hate Mega Man by any stretch. I had Mega Man 2 on the NES and played it often. I sucked at it, but I did like it. It was a good game. But that was all the Mega Man I really needed in my life, I think. Honestly, yeah. I know that might be blasphemy to some, but it's true.
No, I mean, this actually was circling the rounds on Blue Sky recently, but when I was working in my retail days, like we used to have a joke that it was like, oh, it's Tuesday, it's time for a new Mega Man.
Yeah.
Because there were so many Mega Man games coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, this brings we're clearing the slate with this one, y'all.
Right.
So you need to send in some CQCs if you want the CQC segment.
Yep.
This is from Xtreme. This is mainly aimed more towards me, but you can chime in as you see fit. He says, I understand your stance on avoiding video game remakes, but do you think you'd eventually stop rewatching movies or TV shows you have seen before? If not, what's the difference? And no, I wouldn't. I don't think of that. TV shows are a little bit different because of the time commitment. And that's kind of the big difference for me is that it's a lot easier for me to revisit movies because those aren't going to take me 40 hours to revisit.
That's a big thing, there's also kind of it. I don't know. There's also a different aspect to it where you have to, actively engage with it too. And a remake sometimes will, I don't know. Sometimes remakes are necessary or interesting because they're doing something different with it, but still it's kind of the same game. I don't know. It's complicated. Whereas nobody's going to do that with a TV show. If they remake the TV show, there's every chance that they'll fucking ruin it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's that same risk with a game, but it doesn't happen all that often where somebody's like, I'm gonna remake I'm trying to Breaking Bad. We're just gonna remake it, recast everybody with new actors and stuff like that. Why not?
So recent too. I was saying, so as much as I'm upset that the new Buffy like rebootquel was canned, there was like part of a script that got out there where I'm like, oh, we might have dodged a bullet, because it was like you had characters using the term unalive unironically.
Oh,
like,
boy.
You know, it's like, oh, I almost unalived myself. And it's like that YouTube self-censorship shit is like the way that it's like kind of insinuating itself into like actual vernacular really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should be going the other direction, not censoring ourselves.
Well,
but,
you know.
But and there's other facets to it for me. So like I have more comfort movies than I do comfort games. Yeah. Because historically I have been so much about on to the next one with video games that other than stuff from when I was a teenager where I didn't have access to my own funds to buy stuff. Yeah. There are games from that era that are kind of comfort in that way. Like I can never turn down a session to Punch Out. If it's presented to me, I will play Punch Out, right? But even like my favorite game of all time, Super Metroid, I have not touched in like 8 or 9 years. Yeah. I'm been wanting to go back and play it, but I just keep forgetting to. Yeah. Whereas I have a lot of comfort movies that some of them I'll watch annually. Or not even, and some of them aren't even comfort. Like I was thinking today, I was like, oh, gotta remember on October 30th to rewatch The Crow. Sure. Because we did that for Cinemorons and I really enjoyed that. Yeah. And so that's going to be a thing every year for me going forward.
I have it marked on my calendar as well. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's certain movies that I watch around when my mom was killed to kind of remember her. Although I'm kind of using Cinemorons for that lately. We did Breakfast at Tiffany's last year. We'll be doing another one this year. Sure. Because I think it's going to fall in the same. Yeah. Anyway,
I think so.
Either way, if I had July or August, it would fall on my pick around that time. Either way. But there's also an element of, and maybe this is an indictment a little bit of video games, but as I get older, I find new things to glean from movies that I've seen over and over again, where I don't necessarily have that with video games.
Video games as a medium are pretty new, and
they are.
You don't the storytelling. There's very few of them that have that aspect to it. You know what I mean? Or they've been dissected so much already on the internet that it's not as, I guess, fun. Like Silent Hill 2.
Or I kind of I got the intended message the first time around, right?
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily need like a lot of visiting from me or more introspection from me. Yeah. We'll see. Man, the new game from the people who made 1,000 Times Resist was announced this week, and like, I looked at the trailer today, and I was like,
I should watch that.
But I'm probably going to play it because it's going to be like a very important game when that comes out. Yeah. And I'm going to have to know. It looks more interesting than 1,000 Times Resist to me. I will say that.
Maybe they learned how to make a video game this time. I love them to death, but like it was very clear. Like, I don't know, we were just kind of trying our best. I don't know. Like, God, I'm trying to. Where is it?
It's called Prove You Were a Human.
Okay, prove. All right, let's. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, let's do a live react.
All right, you want me to turn the audio on for this? I mean, so I can listen to it. All right.
Sure.
All right. Okay, prove you're human. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's.
I have dreamt so long of my body that I know everything about it.
They like robots.
Dreamt it into
They do.
Existence. They say you think you're human. I am human.
Okay.
In this place,
Well,
where everyone
that's
takes
interesting
their
at
bodies
least.
for granted.
The captures
Yeah.
in the environment. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, that's
When I
interesting
meet
at least.
my body, I will never part from her.
I don't know. This kind of seems okay. I'm interested.
Yeah, it does look like a better video game than 1,000 Times Resist.
Yeah, that looks pretty. That looks
It
pretty.
looks more interesting as a concept to me.
Yeah, they're that looks like it has like they figured out like, okay, we can't make action combat, so let's do something different maybe. That yeah, I'm fascinated. That looks like it might go some places.
Yeah. We shall see.
We shall see. But yeah.
But yeah, I think I just kind of look at like my comfort movies and TV shows a little differently. Like,
Sure. And also,
I really want to go back and rewatch all of How I Met Your Mother, all 7 seasons of it.
yeah.
Because there's 7 seasons of How I Met Your Mother. There's 9. It's just the last 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh,
I figured that was the joke, but yeah.
yeah. Things like that. But I'm real bad about rewatching stuff, as I've said on the show. Is like I'm still trying to go through an MCU rewatch and also the Fast and Furious rewatch. Like I've stalled out on both of those just because it's like, but video games are here.
Yeah. They keep on coming.
Yeah. I will say that like I picked up on something in Elden Ring this time around that I never really never clicked before.
Okay.
Which is when you're fighting Renala, like after the library fight where it transitions to like the moonscape.
Sure.
You're not fighting Renala, you're fighting Ronnie. And she literally says it. She introduces herself as Ronnie the Witch, and it's Ronnie's voice coming out of Renala's mouth.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I think so that's why you don't actually kill Renala. I think you kill a puppet that Ronnie is controlling. That's
possible. Yeah.
Yeah. And it would have been that like last time that I played it, I just skipped the cutscene, but this time I was like, let's watch the cutscenes again. Yeah. And with Bloodborne, I'm trying to remember to like look at the items because that's a thing.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah. So I didn't really do that on Elden Ring, except and what I do know about some of that lore is from YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But I'm still not a fan of that. Man, I really want someone to take the lessons of Elden Ring and put them in a more pleasant video game.
Sure.
Like a place that I actually want to live in, and like characters that I want to give a shit about. But everything else is, still have the hard combat, still have the cool builds, all of that stuff. And that's the other thing is that like whatever the Duskbloods is, sounds like it's more like a Elden Ring Night Rain type of thing, like more of a multiplayer centered type of experience. And playing Bloodborne, I don't know that I want them to go back to that format. I really want them to keep with the Elden Ring thing. And the only thing that I would say to make that sustainable is, but just make it a third of the length. Like, I would be totally fine with a FromSoft game that is an open world game like Elden Ring, but it's only about the size of Limgrave and Caelid.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Sure.
That's plenty.
Yeah, that's probably enough. Yeah. That's probably enough.
Yeah, because that's the other thing is that like as I was like spooling up this Logan character, this Logan build, I'm like, oh boy, but like that's we're talking even if I'm like now that I know the game even better and stuff like that, and if I'm ignoring certain things where it's like, well, I'm not using summon, so I don't have to worry about going into these tombs because I don't need the ghost glovewort and stuff like that. we're still talking like a 70, 80 hour experience.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like the first time around was 119 hours. And then my second save file that also has Shadow of the Erd Tree in there is sitting at like 190 something hours. And then the save file that I had where I was trying to beat, like do a fresh save to do Erd Tree.
Yeah.
That was 64 hours and I was at Moog. But yeah, so it's still a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then the main, I remember when I played it, getting to what is it, like the mountains or whatever, and being like, oh my god, like
yes.
oh god, like that was where I was like, it's still going.
And then you discover that there's also the Halig tree, which is optional,
which is also like, oh god, this is a lot, and and it's not getting any easier. Which, why would it? But yeah.
But I think that's a show, Justin.
I think that's a show, Julian.
Yeah. Thanks as always to the wonderful Megan McDuffie for. I need to buy my tickets. For the theme song and interstitial tracks. Thanks to friend of the show, John Gholson, for being our announcer and providing us with our logo and artwork. Thanks to you for listening to the show. But that is going to do it for this edition of the Stage Select. I've been Julian Titus. He's been Justin Ham. We've been the Stage Select. Signing off.
The Stage Select is copyrighted and owned by Space Monkey Mafia Productions, specializing in independent podcasting. Please consider sharing the show with your friends and support us by joining our Patreon or donating to our coffee. Thank you, and good night.
I want to be your slave. I want to be your master. I want to make your heartbeat run like roller coasters. I want to be a good girl. I want to be a gangster. Because you could be the beauty.
And I could be the monster.